lean a little bit more in film. We are talking Mars entering Gemini. The dynamic duo is back. Okay, cameras are here. All right, I was checking. I was like, where we at? Mars entering Gemini. 7 full months. I see people already in here live. All right. Type your city. Let us know where you're checking in from. This is super dope. I'm super excited. Anything you want to say off the riverboat, even Mars and Gemini, or just even welcoming the people?
Hi!
All right, count it. Can you hit that on mute?
Oh, sure.
So, Mars and Gemini, this is one of the legendary transits, quite frankly, of 2022. I really feel like I'm going to be doing multiple videos on Mars and Gemini because, you know, astrology in its own way it can be used as a predictive tool, yet and still, until life begins to unravel and show us what's up, we just don't know until we know, you know, in all sincerity. There are some previous dates, the year I was born, back 1990, 1991. One of the things that happened was that was the last time I'm familiar that Mars and Gemini was here. I did do a little bit of research and understanding back from Lady Astrology, Lady Lada Disculpa, and she spoke about how, you know, third house Gemini, it is neighboring environments. Okay, it is your neighbors, along with transportation, along with education. We know these as the basics, right? So you kind of got to get those out of the way. It is obviously communication. Gemini is the lungs of the zodiac. So without Gemini, the information doesn't get circulated. It doesn't get communicated. So this is critical because now we've already went through Mercury in Gemini. We've already went through Venus in Gemini this year, 2022. All right, the sun has already passed through Gemini. So on the later end, what's coming now is Mars. So our mind, Mercury in Gemini, has already caught up to what information has been put out there, is already caught up to how media is being used and how it's transforming. Even this platform, YouTube, for an example, when I look at information wars, when I look at social havoc, this is huge for creators. Mars and Gemini, the action, the ways we assert ourselves. Gemini is content, it is creation, it is media. This is huge for creators. One of the most recent things that came up with YouTube is we had YouTube Shorts, right? And YouTube Shorts just blowing out of the water. You're a creator, you're like, you get 4,000, you're getting 12,000 views on a YouTube Short. But the algorithm, the way it was set up, it was not transferring people into their YouTube long forms. So like a video just like this. I'm now going live. Y'all know my lives are averaging about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if I do bust a video, those people that watch those 4,000 views in a minute on a YouTube Short, they didn't transfer over to my actual YouTube live videos. This is one of the ways where trickster energy can actually happen and pull up, where you're thinking as a creator, Gemini, media, and you're taking action on media, you're thinking, all right, this is gonna be a hit. Like all I gotta do is do 4 or 5 shorts a week. Some of them are only gonna get 20 views, but some of them are gonna get 4,000. Some of them are gonna get 20,000, and they're gonna no, it's a trick. So it's not necessarily an intentional thing. Understand that as Mars and Gemini is here, it's not an intentional thing of deception, not at every single point, but within that, intentional deception will be played out, especially when it comes to world and global news. The last time Mars and Gemini was around, like I said, the year I was born, 1990, 1991, and the Berlin East and West walls, neighboring walls, same country, so the neighbors within it, there was social unrest. Back in 1989 with the Berlin Wall, right, in Germany, there was social unrest. This is the time when social havoc, social unrest will happen, but we're taking action on that. You want to give them an example a little bit earlier about Mars and Gemini had said, when we was in the cafe, what happened? We were in the cafe, and you said something, I was pointing at the wall, the little black thing on the wall, and
that he was like curious. Because Gemini is a sign that's just gonna do things out of curiosity. So think about a kid. A little kid is just like exploring the world, trying to understand what's happening, what's going on, how it affects him or her. So this kind of energy, it's not with the intention to harm, it's not with the intention of anything other than actually just understanding what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So it's like with the example that Pernell's giving is that he was like poking at the wall, but just to understand how it will react to his finger poking on the wall. If anything else happens, like the wall crackling a little bit or messing up the paint or anything else, it's just a matter of, well, is it consequence? Now the kid understands what's happening, but it wasn't the intention in the first place to actually do any kind of damage. And this is something that you really want to keep in mind for this season, because and it happened to me yesterday. I messed up words and I ended up insulting my Alexa. But I didn't really.
What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
Say
what?
Hey,
Why not? Say it. I don't care.
Okay. Well, I was trying to add something to my shopping list, and I was like, Alexa, add this to my fucking list, and it was like, what? Why would I ever say that? Like, it didn't even process on myself. But this is exactly the things that we need to be careful, that we need to be mindful for, because it's something that's subconscious completely. It's not on your conscious mind, any of this. And it's gonna come out. And you know, words do hurt. They do make damage. So anything that you feel impulsive to do, especially when you're arguing with someone, talking with somebody else, mind your words a lot, because they're going to have an impact. And the thing is that you cannot undo it. I mean, as much as you say, I'm sorry, as much as you show your forgiveness, as much as the other person even can understand where this is coming from, it's something that you cannot undo. It's already there, it's already out. And for some stuff, it might be beneficial because maybe it's a boundary that you needed to set. But in other cases, you might end up hurting someone, and it wasn't your intention, but there's already something damaged in that relationship. So just think a lot before you act, before you speak.
This is one of the themes. So you definitely want to check our email list, all right? Because we just sent out, it's actually coming out on Sunday, so you have time to get it. I'm gonna drop it here. We just sent out, I gotta keep it a little bit of a secret, all right? I gotta keep it a little bit of a secret because my advisor here was like, you can't show them that much. You can't tell them that much.
No, because you have to understand that it's exclusive for everyone that's already in the email list. The things that we're posting are not all public. Like, it is a privilege to be in there and to have that knowledge, particularly. Like, we do polls for this email. For this email list, we highlight some of the transits that are going to be affecting your life mostly. And this is something that why you should be there. Exclusive discounts, exclusive access, early access to some of our events, or even like with the Abundant Reality course, how we extended the early birth. Those are things that you cannot miss. So if they are on the out for everyone, is like, what's the point?
Prime example.
Yeah.
So we are going to get deeper into the Gemini. Mars in Gemini transit. Mars has entered Gemini. We're going to give a forecast for all 12 rising signs. You want to show them the tarot that you're working with today.
Today we're going to be working with Shadow. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting where the camera is. The Shadow Book Tarot. So I love this one because at first I was like, I don't understand. I saw the packaging and it was so amazing, so magical, like very mystical. And then I found some have images from real life, like for example this one that I just pulled recently, the stars, and it's just like a mother with her kids, and it wasn't mystical enough for me. But then I have to understand that everything mystical in the universe is actually translated somehow into the human world. So this is one of the examples, putting this in human words, in human terms. So I love working with this now.
The fact that she said that, I rolled dice right prior. This is one of my tools, right? These Astro dice. Taurus is the physical world. 12th house is the conscious, the subconscious, and the collective. But we have it in Neptune. Now, what's ironic is on this particular solar return, my Neptune and her Neptune are both in Taurus. Most people are. As well as in the 12th house. So what am I saying? This is kind of us breaking and dissolving the illusions of the physical world. And one of those illusions of the physical world, the physical reality, Earth itself, is the fact that as above, so below. What happens on Earth is also happening up and above in spirit.
Literally what it says here in the title, but as you can see, I didn't read much into this when I bought it. It says as above, as below. Literally just Spanish, but it is something that is helping me understand how to work here in human world, human life.
So I see somebody said that the progressed rising was Leo. I think that was Sabrina. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for being active in here. Thank you all for those likes and those thumbs up. We do appreciate you tremendously. I highly recommend. I have a Scorpio rising natal, right? She has a
Gemini rising.
Gem
natal.
rising on the natal. Okay, but my progressed rising sign is Gemini. And her progressed,
Libra.
boom. I highly recommend you check both. I like to personally compare and contrast. I do feel that they both are pertinent. I do feel that my Gemini rising, I've just been following it for months and months and months. Honestly, probably the whole year now. All right. And it's always accurate. My progressed rising sign has always been accurate. And at the same time, my natal Scorpio rising is always accurate. I still do check my sun. I give a little less emphasis to my sun. The only reason why I put a lot of emphasis still on my sun, and I always still include it, is because I have an Aries sun, but I also have 3 Aries planets, and they're my personal planets. Now, the key thing I said about this is they're also my personal planets. So it's my sun, it's my moon. These are already huge, and it's my Mercury. These are huge. So it's like I do count and include these, but do for sure prioritize your natal rising, and I like to include your progressed rising.
And if you're doing this for the first time, because all of my life I've only looked at Pisces, the sun sign natal, and that's all that I look for. So it's easy to resonate, it's easy to understand the energy. And when Pernell told me that I have to start looking for my rising sign natal and progress, it was like, this doesn't make sense for me. But you just have to understand and flow with that energy in order to get a more broad understanding of what's happening and how it's affecting you, because he's right, like it is super accurate. And for, I think it was Sabrina that was saying that the progress sign makes more sense. Well, of course, because it is what you're facing this year precisely. The other one, I mean, you're rising through life to get there. So this is why it's important to check both of them.
For sure, for sure. So I'm going to have Eileen do her spiritual magical stuff and get ready to pull a card for the energy. I'm going to give a little bit more of a background understanding about Mars and Gemini from my personal perspective. You heard a little bit about Eileen's perspective. And understand this, that when we're looking and interpreting astrology, it is always an interpretation of us as individual astrologers, as well as the combination of that and our own personal intuition. So never take my interpretation or her interpretation as, look, this is law, this is fact, this is something that we got the best and nobody. Never look at it like that. Always understand that you need to learn how to trust your own intuition and basically honor that, okay? Honor your own personal instincts. Honor, if you feel that is right for you, then it's right for you. If you feel like a particular message is not really right for you, then it's not. Because understand, like, all of us have our own zodiac signs, right? And we all have our own collection of what the synthesis of all of our signs together looks and feels like. So I really feel like it's important to make sure you trust your intuition during every message, no matter what astrologer, no matter what YouTube influencer. Always trust yourself and know when to say, this was for me, but this was not. All right? So
even in sessions, like one-on-one sessions, I always say, like, you have to trust your intuition much more than anything that I can channel for you. Because like, even if you're not as connected as you think, you always know there's always this little part that is like, yeah, I should have listened to it from the beginning. This actually happened in a reading that I had yesterday, and she was like, I knew it, like from the beginning, the first impression that I had was this. Why did I react until now? Because, and understand that also it's practice,
I had to get out of J-Lo and Jazz, y'all made me smile, so I had to go ahead and throw the love in there off the rip. And what I do want to say is, don't forget that we are running a free event, all right? If you're on our email list, you'll be getting this on Sunday, and you'll also get some behind the background exclusive insights. We did some personal tarot pulls specifically for the Virgo new moon coming up. So this Virgo new moon is going to be critical, all right? It's going to last for 6 months. It takes 6 months for manifestations to come true, to come to pass, all right? Now understand that this Gemini in Mars retrograde will make Gemini transit last for 7 months. What are we saying? This particular full moon will last 6 months. Mars and Gemini will last 7 months. The manifestations, the chaos is going to be created from Mars and Gemini. It's something that should not be overlooked. In my personal opinion, the last time this happened was 1990, 1991. The time before that was like 1948, I believe.
1929.
1929 was one of the times before that. I do think that there was a 1948 one as well. I do think there was one in 1948. And to give some examples, this was happening on Black Thursday, for one example. This is back during the Great Depression, so that's the 28, that's 1928 one, I believe, where this Mars and Gemini was there one of the times. And this is the Great Depression. So it was predicted as well that like it wasn't necessarily Mars and Gemini because it happened leading up into it. It was just a matter of the chaos that happened prior started contributing to the trickery and the foolery of people putting their investments into homes, putting their investments and their money into banks, and then the banks crashed. So be mindful of that, because right now we have cryptocurrencies, right? I told people not very often that if you're in cryptocurrencies, honestly, until 2024, 2025, this year, there's going to be a lot of trickery. There's going to be a lot of effery, and it should be very mindful. I personally would not invest in buying a home right now. I personally would not invest in making any large purchases, especially during this transit, because the majority of this retrograde in Gemini around sales, business, commerce, third house, Gemini is sales, it's business, it's commerce, it's me or Eileen selling herself, right? So sales is not just about, hey, take this and give me money. It's how do I sell myself on this particular media platform? Do I sell myself as a guru, as a genie that can solve all your problems? This is where you got to be mindful about the actions of people. This is a time where learning curiously is very important and even suggested, but not looking to be the master behind your actions. You want to give an example earlier about how you helped me out by me just like...
just speaking out.
Okay,
because, yeah, and this is something that was hard for me too, because when I speak out, I honestly almost always want to have my ideas just unmixed, like just be straightforward with what I'm thinking, to understand myself before I talk out. But with this energy, you really need to talk first and understand later. This is how you're going to be helped too. Pernell was telling me something about his YouTube channel, how he wished he could share screen. And I was like, oh, maybe you could try this, just sharing your screen and then splitting it into video, and the other part is just the astro chart. But when we started doing it, realized he could do it from the beginning just by using the YouTube live streaming option that actually allows you to have your camera so you can show your face and actually share your screen to understand how this is playing. So, and this is just an example, right? It's happened with emotions too. Like, I don't understand how I'm feeling, so you start talking it out, and suddenly it makes sense.
Yeah. This is the key about Gemini. All of the things we're saying about Gemini, understand that Mars itself is about assertion energy. It loves action. So we're leaving Mars in Taurus, who's like, I don't really like action. Quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable. All right, if I'm Mars right now, Mars does not feel comfortable in Taurus. Taurus is too slow. Taurus is too methodical. Taurus is too grounded. Mars is like, I want to get shit done, right? Mars is literally like, I want to get it done. I want to get it done now. Always. Understand that Aries is one of the first energies that Mars has been related to, all right? And you do have Scorpio in there as well, but both of them are characters who they take their desires and they pursue them. They pursue their desires. They pursue their wants. They pursue their needs. Scorpio in the spaces of intimacy, sex, and making investments with others. Aries and also in pretty much like very premarital sex as well, quite frankly, but also taking what they want and what they need now. So when you put it in Taurus, it doesn't really like to work so well in that. That's the opposite, all right? It's in one of its falls or detriments, opposite of Scorpio. So Gemini, a wind sign, wind signs all cut. They all cut things, all right? You cut with your words. Eileen said this a little bit earlier. This is the type of energy where I told her prior to get on here, I said, yo, did you get your armor on?
Oh, yeah.
Why did I say that? Tell them why I said that. Why would that be significant?
Because right now it's literally information war. Like, it comes from media. So I just told him this morning, it's a dangerous time to be a YouTuber, to be an influencer, because this hate is gonna come from everywhere, and literally words hurt. So this is how they're gonna try to start these wars. This is how they're gonna start to messing up with you. So this is why it's important to energetically protect. This is something that you should do too. It doesn't matter if you're actually in media or not, but to just protect your energy from this trickery that's gonna be coming out soon.
Absolutely. So like, here's an example as we get deeper into Mars and Gemini, as a couple samples, and we have our local bruja right here, all right, straight out of Mexico, straight Aztec Mayan culture. I don't know who you connect with more, Aztec or Mayan?
It's funny, I was born where the Aztecs actually lived, but I feel the connection with the Mayan culture. Every time I go to Merida, Yucatan, it's like, yeah, this is my place. I understand.
Let's take a trip.
That's it.
Let's take a trip. All right, let's go see some temples. Let's go do the do. All right, so we have our local bruja right here, and so she's gonna help you understand a little bit about what type of means to protect. We're gonna probably share a little bit about when it comes to crystals, the energy coming in, the energy coming out, so she'll help you with that. And we're gonna give you a couple things that can help during times when, especially if you're public on media, especially if you're in a sales career, all right? So you don't have to be on media.
Deal with a lot of people.
You gotta deal with people, you gotta talk with a lot of people. This type of energy where somebody can make you basically take your panties off without ever removing your pants. It's like, how did you do that? I don't know. Like, I'm wearing jeans. How did my panties come off? You feel what I'm saying? I saw J-Lo in here saying she was getting ready to buy a car. I do not recommend taking the action. Gemini is transportation. It represents cars, buses, bicycles, all right, trains. I do not recommend making any kind of big, large investment, especially on anything transportation related.
I just have a question, like it may be in everyone's mind. Do you not recommend it like right now or until it gets retrograde?
It's a great question.
Yeah, because even the pre-shadow, it's on September 3rd, I think.
I'm naturally feeling like until Sagittarius season.
Until Sagittarius season.
Which is like late November, December, because Sagittarius has the ability to see with a third eye. So Gemini is still in the human body still. It's our physical hands. This is somebody who's a fast talker and be like, yo, I got that stuff. Yo, take my stuff right here. Yo, you go check out my new album. That's kind of like fast energy, and it uses the hands to go ahead and convince you. It can be like, you join the war today. Right? Like, remember that old ad in the US when they're trying to draft people in the war? It can make you feel like through their hands, or it can even be something like, hey, welcome to my channel. Be blessed by all the light, love, and healing energy. And you feel like, oh wow, I feel like, light and lifted. And it's like, no, this motherfucker is a con artist, and you should be very careful. And I'm not saying that they are, but it's not that simple. But what I'm saying is like, I personally would not wait until either Scorpio season, because it has the perceptivity to see the truth as well, to see deeper in the psychological motivations behind what is somebody selling, what is basically I'm gonna stop right there. What is somebody selling? Because it is business, it is commerce. And as well as Sagittarius, where Sagittarius can see with the third eye. So it has the intuition to see beyond physical veils, physical layers. But in all sincerity, I just feel like right now is just not the time. When it comes to buying anything big, when it comes time to investing large amounts in crypto, it's not the time. Large amounts, my friend told me he's getting ready to buy a home. I said, yo, homie, I gave him a call, and I didn't even have the time to do it, but it's my main man's. And I was like, nah, dog, I gotta talk to you. Don't do this right now. On some real, like, you have your own choice, you're your own man, you can make your own choice, but don't buy a home right now. Buying a home right now is just not smart. At least astrologically speaking, and at least from what I can personally see. I am not the only astrologer in the world. You might hear somebody say something completely different, and it might resonate with you, all right? I'm just looking at it from my perspective. That's why I try to say it's very important to be mindful and present with your own intuition. So personally, I'm not trying to put until 2024. Notice I didn't say 2023, because Pluto does implode in March. And there's going to be a backlash fallout to any kind of implosion. That is energy going inward so deeply, so long. For the next 6 to 7 months, we are in a dark period. Right after Virgo season, the sun will be in Virgo very soon, a week and a half. Very soon, right after the Virgo new moon. Libra, Scorpio, even Sag, even though you get a little bump of optimism, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces are all in the dark. They are all in very deep, introspective, and reflective energies. The sun even reflects and goes down sooner in the day. You're like, oh man, it's sun outside to 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. And then in the winter time, it's like, oh, it's 6 o'clock p.m. and it's already dark outside. This is the real definition of, until Aries season comes back around, it's just not light yet again. We're leaving the light, we're going to the dark. So I don't recommend. I'm gonna just stop it right there for the time being, but you do what you want. But I already heard J-Lo saying she got a big intuitive no.
Listen to it.
Listen to it.
Yeah, I bet your instinct was kicking like, nope. And life just found more ways, the universe found more ways to tell you no.
Hey, what's going on, Rainbow? Rainbow Rod, never seen you in here. So it's good to see some new faces. Got another Pisces sun. All right, we got a Pisces sun right next to me here. I see you're in the 8th with the Leo rising. Wow, Leo risings have been all over the place. This is about to be wild. Do you want to pull? What are you about to do? You're about to do something. No, you just got the book open. You're just doing the do. All right. Do you want to pull some energy based off of right before we get now into the 12 zodiac signs? What's the overall message for Mars being in Gemini? Help us out about how can we better navigate what's going on. I'm gonna get my little lucky ooh-wees. Okay, we got the ooh-wees. Ooh.
5 of Swords. So it's literally talking about disagreements, failure, everything that you plan. This is air energy. Everything sword is air energy. So it's already telling us that it's not a time to go into any kind of competition. You should plan it strategically. That's gonna help you a lot. But you should not act impulsively because that's gonna be literally the doom right now. The 5 is it's a fire number. So this is literally the card for Mars in Gemini because it's the 5, the fire of Mars, and Swords, the air of Gemini. And this is telling us about the conflict that is about to come. You might have plans ruined, failure, and overall just a lot of competition.
Yo, once again, you have to get on the email list because we're getting better and better and better, more and more detailed on just staying consistent on giving you out of free giveaways. She just said something that we took extra time that only the people on our email list are going to receive. You will also get a free PDF. I do look to go ahead and make a new little free giveaway coming up soon with that. But for now, you must check the email list. I'm telling you, because what she just said was right on point. But you're here live, so you're getting it anyways. But just in case you don't make the lives, check it out. And if you're already on my email list and you don't see anything coming up, please do check your spam. Please do check your, what is that thing called? Junk box?
I think it's the same thing.
Spam junk. All right,
or
check
subscribe again. I don't know.
So what's the overall summary of this? And once again, you said this is Mars and Gemini energy.
Yeah, because 5 is fire and Swords is air. And this is the conflict that is going to be rising right now. It's about disagreements, it's about competition, it's about failure overall.
But why does everybody look like they're winning? Why is that is that a lady or a guy?
It's a lady.
Why does that lady look like, why does she feel like she's winning at the top?
Oh, because that's not you, that's the other person next to you.
So somebody else is winning even though they're making it seem like...
Yeah, there's the trickery of Gemini.
It's the trickery of Gemini. Ooh. Because if you look at this again, look at this woman over off right here. And look at her face. I gotta move in a little bit closer. Look at her face. I don't know if you can see it with the blur, but she has this look, she has this vibe. And when I see it, it's kind of like, even though she looks like she's in second place, she knows that she's winning somehow. You see what I'm saying? She's in second place, but she don't look like she lost. She doesn't have a feeling of like sulking or like, oh man, she's not even really happy for the first place either. If you see her face, she's like, You see it?
Yeah.
What did you get? What do you get from that?
Well, it's literally the trickery. Like, what I get right now is that there's people around you that's gonna do things in order to win something even though they don't deserve it. And that's a big theme right now. People getting things that they don't deserve, but they have the means. They have this Gemini force that Pernell was talking about people deceiving you into buying their things, into doing something that you're gonna regret later.
Yeah. You know, this appointment, and you see the third place woman, she's just obviously not happy about it. She's just like, look, I am not happy because, but when I see this third woman, this third place woman in the green, she's not happy, but she's also not happy because she knows that she deserves more than second place and the first place. Like, she knows she put in more effort. She knows that she deserved it. She knows that she was working and living in integrity. And so she knows that she lost, understanding that, dang, these other people won with deception. Yeah. Now, this deception I speak about, understand that during this transit Mars in Gemini, you will have the largest squares other than what just happened with the Taurus and Uranus squaring Aquarius energy, squaring and Saturn squaring Leo energy and the Sun. The next largest thing coming up, because these are kind of fading away now, is Neptune in Pisces squaring Gemini and Mars while it's in retrograde. This is two mutable energies. Now, mutable was already confusing. It's already not direct. It's not a cardinal sign. They're not direct. It's not a fixed sign, so it's not stable. It's not normal. It's not what you're used to. It's mutable. And mutable is the type of energy in astrology. There's 4 signs mutable. 2 of them are Pisces and Gemini. Now, you also have Virgo, which is what? Right now, Mercury is in Virgo. Very soon, we're going to be in Virgo season, all while Gemini is still there. So you're going to have T-squares begin to form. T-squares are nothing more than there's an opposition between 2 sister signs, that'll be Virgo and Pisces, and the one T-squaring with it will be Mars and Gemini, a wind. So now you have Earth and water, which still have somewhat of an understanding of each other, squaring with the focal and the center point being Mars and Gemini. Now, Neptune in Pisces is the great dissolver. It dissolves illusions. It dissolves dreams that no longer matter, no longer fit. It dissolves in what ways have we deceived ourselves. And it's squaring that Gemini mutable energy as well. And the Virgo, so Virgo is saying, hey, look, did you fact check your stuff? Did you go through the details? Have you analyzed everything? And if you did not right now, you are definitely going to be the fool. She might have been, this woman in the green right here, she might have honestly been the one who did it all right, but just didn't check her facts. And she's mad at herself because she realized if I just did one more data check, if I looked at all the facts and I actually got rid of, because Virgo gets rid of things, right? It destroys and creates boundaries where things no longer belong. It's the small intestines in the human body. So it literally craps and poops out everything that is not useful to the human body. So what I'm getting is any type of information that's not useful to you, it's time to go ahead and make sure you get rid of it. All right? Any type of data, anything that's not useful, whether it's food, because Virgo will count the type of food and how you're supplying your body, whether it's dreams, whether it's illusions, or whether it's deceptions of others, or more importantly, deceptions that you have within your own framework, within your own subconscious. Now, this is what's hard about everything I'm saying. 12th house, Pisces, Neptune, this is your subconscious mind. This is 97% of what you do at a behavioral level every day on routine. And Virgo's is routine. So you're going to have a lot of this routine type energy, this Virgo energy, everything you're doing every day, how you're taking care of your body or how you're not taking care of your body. You're going to have that energy already in opposition, and it's going to reveal to you in usually very painful ways. This is something that's been there since birth already. So this is not something brand new. It's not even somebody else trying to trick you. This is your own familiar patterns that are not familiar to you, not conscious to you, because Mars is an unconscious energy. Mars is not aware of what it's doing, and Gemini is just along for the ride. Gemini is just curiously having fun. It's like, woohoo! You know, like literally it's just like, so this is where information wars, this is where you're going to be presented a certain piece of information, and it's just not going to be true, it's not going to be accurate. Some will be intentionally lying, some will be lying and not be aware of it at all. Some will be deceiving themselves and they will believe their own personal lies. And so they're telling you the truth. Yeah. But they're still telling you wrong information.
Yeah, like they're their personal worst enemy. Like you yourself you're gonna be your personal own enemy. And that's happening a lot because this is true. Like they're gonna believe their lies so much that for them they're truth. but it is until November 19th when this squaring Neptune in Pisces is going to dissolve it, and so you can actually see the truth. But that's a long way into the road, so you have to be mindful of all of these energies right now.
Yeah, check Jamie. Shout out to you. Jamie, Jasmine, up in the Abundant Reality group. All right, that is officially closed off. But yes, glad to see you. You have Eileen coming up on Sunday. All right, we did our first week. And if you're watching this live tomorrow, I am going to send this out to you. I sent you all your personal mantras in that group. All right, one by one. It's very specific to your own astrology chart. So what I want you to do is not depend on what I sent you, but take an extra moment. I don't have my mantra's over there. To go ahead and write it out on paper, something pretty, use markers, make it pretty, all right? Sorry. Make it pretty, use a couple extra colors, all right? And rewrite your mantras yourself, rip it out, post it on your refrigerator, post it in your bedroom, on your nightstand, your bathroom, something that you look at every single day.
Yeah, look, I mean, this isn't the mantras.
It's a draft.
But yeah, this is a draft for my routines. But I really encourage you to do something like this. I mean, it has drawings. I just let myself out. The actual finished product has a lot of colors. So do this. Take the information and be creative with it. This is the only way that it's going to actually be stuck. Well, not stuck. Like, you're actually going to process it in a great way in your mind and in your soul.
Absolutely.
Especially because this is the last of Leo season, you know, so take this energy while it lasts.
Okay. So let's get into, I want to get into the rising signs for each person. First, I do want to have you check in. Did you check in with Jamie and the crystal? She's doing your candle magic technique.
Do something. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy that you like the candle magic because it is a very useful resource and almost nobody knows about it. So I'll be talking about that more. Yeah, remove everything that I didn't need. Candle magic is amazing for this. I'm so glad that you're doing this, Jamie. 444. Hey, Shantae, she's here too.
I know. I told her.
I haven't seen her.
I sent your routines out today, Shantae.
Yeah, 444 is all about protection, like trust, because you're protected by your guides.
Yep. So shout out to you as well. She's another one in the Abundant Reality. Really such a joy. Jasmine as well, another one in Abundant Reality. But what I like about what she just said is something I've been doing myself. She said she's been on an unsubscribe spree. And she said everything that we just said explains why she's been unsubscribing. This is the Virgo energy of looking at the facts.
And organizing too.
And organizing.
Because it's overstimulation. Like, you don't need that. It's a way of organizing also your thoughts.
I know you like to do it. Go ahead.
Yes!
I gotta keep her happy. She's a hard person here.
Hey.
Keep me happy every day. Woo! Lord. Okay, here we go. So right before I get into it, this is the one energy that I pulled that is the last, it's the last earth energy in my animal deck. If you've been seeing horses in your dreams lately.
Oh, we've been seeing horses in real life.
In real life as well. Even in Puerto Escondido, we saw the little donkey horse.
It was just a donkey.
Where did we see horses in real life? Oh, every day.
Yeah.
I forgot. By the subway station, there's horses. They have horses everywhere here. I forgot. Okay. This speaks for momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. Now, the most important part of this is the fact that the horse is absolutely undefeatable. You can't defeat the horse energy. It is so reliable, it is so supportive, and it rides on the back towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain, all right? The horse as an earth energy is fully awakened. This is what's beautiful. It's fully alive. The horse's freedom becomes available. This is the most important part. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily Virgo practice. Through daily Virgo practice. That's the
right on point.
This is really I couldn't get any better with it. Look, it says physical stamina, aka exercise, and mental focus, aka meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. You want to give them the bring in balance, out of balance?
Okay, when in balance, it achieves anything and never gives up. Sorry, I just had the Rick Astley song stuck.
Oh, no,
Never
you
gonna
good.
give you
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let
Sing,
you down.
can you sing it? Can you sing it? Just that part. Just the never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down.
All right, from the beginning, from the top. Ladies and gentlemen.
You get it.
All right, dang, I tried to get her to sing, y'all. Y'all know she got the voice. Can we cheer her on in the chat and get her to sing? Can we give her that Leo love?
Maybe later. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so when out of balance, runs away and feels weak.
Pisces.
And to bring into balance, strength training.
Boom.
And mind you, this doesn't have to mean that you're just pulling weights all day.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing yoga. And trust me, in the right position for the right amount of time, it can be just as great workout as just pulling weights all day long. So yeah, it doesn't have to be strenuous, just whatever you can actually manage to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. And because we're gonna enter Virgo season, something that you can stay in a routine. If you can stick to it for a long time, it would be best. So take this into account. Strength training. I also kind of feel like it doesn't have to be like physical work. Strength training could also mean, like, for example, as a singer, strength training would look like going up the scales and going up the triangle of pentatonics, something like that, because you're actually practicing something in order to get stronger in whatever area of your life.
Absolutely. So now it is time. What I want to have you do is in the chat, first off, 19 people, 18 people, I want to see at least 18 thumbs up. Help your boy out, help the channel, okay? Excuse me. I want to ask you in the chat to claim it out loud and then bring awareness, even if it's out of balance or in balance. Bring awareness to it so you can then make the shift. Are you in balance? All right? If you're in balance, you can achieve anything. You never give up. Are you in balance right now? Yesterday you could have been out of balance. Today you could be in balance. It could have been vice versa. Can you achieve anything? Do you feel that in your heart? And are you at the space where you never give up? Just say, I'm in balance. Claim it. All right? In the chat, type it out, please. Are you out of balance? If you're out of balance, do you find yourself running away? Or do you find yourself feeling weak? And there's no judgment. There's no shame on this. Just literally claim it. I'm out of balance. I find that there's power in embracing the darker shadow aspects of living. If we try to deny it, I promise you this next 6 to 7 months while this transit is here, you're going to crush. You're going to get crushed. Because no matter what, the last 6 zodiac signs from Libra to Pisces, they're in the dark. So when the sun hits Libra, it starts getting real fucking dark outside. It's more powerful to claim, right now I'm out of balance, because then you can focus on how to bring it into balance, which is strength training. Everything she just gave, all right? The routines, you can bring it back into balance. So I'm going to type it myself. Achieve anything, never give up. It feels weak. No, I'm in balance. I'm in balance.
Beat you to it.
Oh, you did. I'm in balance.
Yeah, literally, that was the energy for today. Ever since we woke up, like,
Yes!
can achieve everything.
But mind you, for the 2 days prior to today, I was down and out. 2 days ago, I was going through my spiritual death, quite frankly, another one, a human death, call it what you want. I don't even care anymore. Ego death, call it what you want. And 2 days ago, I was out. I was crying on and off, like from the beginning of the day. It was like 10 in the morning. Had my first tears drop. And then I was like,
Eso, Shantae.
hey, what's up, Shantae?
Balance.
I'm in balance. Bang.
Perfect. Capital letters. Oh, I
see
love it. I love
see
it.
Claim it.
Yes.
You know, and then I'm like sitting in a chair and I'm like, what the heck? And then Eileen comes up, she talks to me. She's like, yo, I don't know what she said at this point. She's like, yo, you good? And I was like, honestly, no. Right now, I was like,
Oh no, I was asking how could I support you, and you're like, you can't.
Yeah, I was like, I was kind of like,
you can't.
No
one can.
You can't support me right now, like, because I knew very clear. It was like, look, this is my moment to die. This is my moment to transform. This is my moment to go through the rebirth. And it's like, even when I'm in a sense out of balance, even when I was in a weaker state 2 days ago, it's like, I'm gonna go ahead and embrace this. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not feeling crappy right now. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not overly emotional right now. I'm not gonna pretend that, my creativity is being misplaced. And I think at like 11:30, I did some other I think I started drinking tequila, I think at like 11:30, 11:45. On some real. This is what happened. And then from there, I told her, this is what I told her. I was like, I'm having a breakdown. I told her, I was like, I'm having a psychotic breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I said it straight up. So what I'm trying to admit is that it's okay to be out of balance. Because 2 days ago, I was out of balance. But by me allowing myself to embrace the fact that I was completely off my wanker, from there, it's like I started on my vision board, my magic board. I started drawing, I started painting, I started writing and journaling. All these repressed and deep scorpionic self-known emotions begin to rise.
Yeah, literally transforming the energy.
Boom.
The catharsis into something creative, into an expression that is gonna help you relieve and also act in a positive way in everyone else's lives.
Boom. And now it's 2 days later and I'm feeling unstoppable. I woke up, I was like, up. I went running. I don't even like running. All right. So I had to get the movement. Mars and Gemini is movement. But you got to control the movement routine.
And for those of you out of balance, Jennifer and Rainbow Ra, remember, strength training, whatever this looks like to you, it doesn't have to be something physical. It could be, but it doesn't have to be something physical. It could be like looking at where you want to get stronger and practicing that daily.
Jamie, she just started laughing at me. I hate running, I hate running. But I knew at the same time that it was a part of my body officially getting on board where there are going to be moments in life that I just don't enjoy. There are going to be moments in life that are just not peachy. They're not smiley. They're not happy. I'm not high energy. And by doing that, the day after that death, what did I do the next day?
Today's the next day? No.
Yes, yesterday.
Oh, rest.
I laid in bed and watched Netflix. I closed every curtain. I closed every blind. I was in the pitch black darkness.
Yeah, it was day down here and it was night up there.
It was day downstairs and it was night upstairs. She came upstairs. She was like, "Oh my goodness, so cute." And I'm like in the blankets like this.
Yeah,
I'm like blankets up to the nose, like, you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. That's my point. Male, female, it doesn't matter. Going through and allowing yourself to experience emotion, Gemini does represent the dark and the light. Gemini likes to play and pretend that it's always light and always happy, but in all reality, Gemini is a very introverted sign. It is half and half, 50-50, they're twins. If you deny the darkness, you're wearing a mask. And quite frankly, as a leader on a public stage, it's like wearing a mask is just non-negotiable. I cannot. On the public stage, I cannot wear a mask. Yo, Jamie, you funny. She said, I did the same thing. Yeah. I just yawned when you spoke. I'm in balance. What's the yawn mean, Eileen?
Sorry, no.
When somebody yawns.
I'm blanking out.
Is it emotional release?
No, that's a sigh.
Emotional healing?
Emotional healing is a sigh.
It's a sigh. Like,
yeah.
So when you go,
really healing emotions.
That's an emotional healing.
Yeah, I used to make fun of the person who told me this the first time, but over time I realized it's true, so I'm sorry, money. But I understand now. A demon release, Jamie says, is a demon release when you yawn.
When you yawn, I believe it.
Yeah, the demon release, I actually just link it, I mean, this is for myself, right? I link it more with the sneezing or coughing. Yeah,
You're expelling.
Yeah,
when you sneeze, you expel demons.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact.
You feel sometimes it's super strong, like, did I just sneeze like that?
No, I do know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. All right, let's get into the message. Like I said, I'm going to do more Mars and Geminis as we go on because
this is lasting a long time.
It's a 7-month transit. So I'm going to now give you your rising signs. Can somebody begin at this point to mark when you listen to this, especially if you're watching on replay? I'm going to try to repeat that. And can you remind me as well, after every zodiac sign, I'm going to try to say, here, please timestamp this. Here. I'm going to do that each time. Aries.
Third house.
Are the first one going through the third house. And because Mars is part of your first house ruler, you're also kind of going through a first house. So, Aries, excuse me. She said, I got my pumpkin ale. I would love a pumpkin ale.
Oh, me too. I was just thinking about the pumpkin spice beverage.
Pozole también.
Oh, well, that's Mexican. Like in
Garbanzo?
September 16 is Mexico's independence. It is not May 5th. That's a minor battle. But yeah, September 16, it's Mexico's Independence Day. So we have a lot of great foods coming up. And I'm very excited for him to try pozole, chile en nogada, and maybe buñuelos. I'm not sure if they are a thing in Guadalajara, but...
Give me all the Mexican food. I love Mexican food. Okay. Aries.
Cheers, Jamie.
Cheers, Jamie. How about you? Come on, girl. Let me cheers, girl. It's apple cider. Don't laugh.
Grown-up apple cider.
It's grown-up apple cider. All right, here we go. So, Aries, you're going through a first house. I take that back. Prioritize the third house. Prioritize the third house, but understand that your first house will be affected. Now, Mars is your home planet, so this matters to you that much more, Aries, as well as Scorpios. This will hit you so much harder. Third house is the house of our behaviors. It's a house of our skills. Now, skills take practice. So, Aries, you're a very short attention span type energy. I like to say, even to myself, I have the attention span of a fruit fly.
I'm sorry. We just saw it on a show, and I was like, that's so you. He's embracing it now.
You see the screen?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that doing?
What's where?
Oh! So, I like to think that Aries has the attention span, myself included, of a fruit fly. You know, I give an example of this. It's like, you know, when I have a thought, I have 9 thoughts at the same time. But it happens so fast in reality that one thing comes out, but it meant 9. And so it's like, Aries, you're learning with the Virgo energy in the sky, Mars and Gemini, you're learning how to go through learning new skills, new abilities, but are helping them and allowing them to stick. You're starting to recognize that there are assertions that you take on these new skills. There's new learning that you're going to be doing. I see you potentially taking some courses. If I look at myself right now, I'm in my own course of tarot, right? I got my tarot master right here, and I'm in the process of writing. Third house is writing. So Mars and Gemini, I'm now writing, and I'm kind of, again, a span of a gnat. So I wrote like, not even the first paragraph. I wrote like a half of the first page, and I only got through like, I don't know, kings, queens. I don't even know what I got
I was
through.
telling him like, oh, hey, I just so you know, I had the revised. I made improvements to my old list, Virgo, and used this one better instead of the first one.
Yeah, because she thought I wrote everything out already.
Yeah, and he was like, I only have like the one.
I only did the first one. Like, I remember that day very clearly. Like, I was going through, I was writing down the notes, trying to learn tarot, third house, learning, and I didn't get far enough for it to matter that she had a whole new upgrade of notes. Now, at the same time, what I also want to say is, you, Aries, you are the most instinctual sign. Trust your instinct. Something about my instinct didn't want me to continue at the same time. Like, my attention just didn't do it. Now, if it did, I would have been writing that and then writing the new one as well, rather than just the improved version. So, Aries, you're now taking action in a way that is more Gemini-like, where it's like, instead of taking the bulldoze cardinal energy head first, I've been given a task, I've been given a homework assignment, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. You're now trusting and learning how to play with your instinct in a more mutable way, in a way that's like, look, I'm going to do a little bit of this, I'm going to do a little bit of that, I'm going to do a little bit of this, but it's going to still require you to stay focused. It's still going to require you to hone that energy and start to create plans so that you can actually begin to maximize, well, what am I learning, the time frame that I'm learning it, how I'm learning it, all right? This Aries for you, I want to say, with the fiery energy of what the fire energy of Aries has, and Gemini being Mars in the hands, today I just ran local transportation, third house. I just ran to a gym, all right? It took me like 16 minutes or so. I went to the gym, and it was a boxing gym. Boxing uses what? It uses your hands. So now I have an opportunity to hone the excess amount of fire as an Aries by getting physical exertion out through the actual hands. Aries, if your boxing is not your thing, I want to say take more time writing, take more time even speaking. Now, I do a lot of speaking. YouTube is my channel, so this is kind of one of them. So for me, it's less about this area. It's more about diversifying in a mutable way, taking mutable action, and I'm actually cutting back on my YouTube. I'm speaking less on my YouTube, and I'm spending more time doing different and variety of things that I had just mentioned. So Aries, this is what I feel like the report is for you, and I'm going to say somebody timestamp that, and she's going to give you the card.
So Aries, it's right on point. It's the Knight of Chalices, which is literally about following your intuition, recognizing that you have a sensitive side and that you have to cater to it. So whatever feeling you are or whatever emotion you have in you, let it out. It doesn't matter if you feel like it's cheesy, if you feel like it's too much, whatever it is, good, bad, just let it out, because this is literally what's been asked for you. You have to understand also that your intuition is something that you have to develop over time so you can be better grounded and prepared for this trickery, Gemini.
We're over in Missouri. So Aries, another thing that I want to sit there and say real quick is definitely check. You want to, you got that already?
I don't know what.
Excuse me, the new moon. I got it right here.
I got it too.
Okay, so Eileen is getting ready to drop the new moon. We're doing yoga. We're giving it out, especially if you're an email list. You'll be getting that invite on Sunday. I saw a couple people in this chat now already involved. Aries, third house is movement. So to help better hone your spiritual energy, your intuition, your intellect, your emotions, a great way to do it is through yoga. So we got the Virgo new moon coming up next Saturday. We're running this live event. It's going to be free. Check it out. It's pinned up at the top of the comments, but Eileen just dropped it as well in case you didn't see it.
And hey, Pernell, I see you.
Howdy. I just told her, like, that's her thing.
Howdy.
Yeah, yo, Farrah, I know you're doing more and more publicly on YouTubes and IG. Get your catchphrase. Howdy is your thing. I know, I've heard it so many times, like, yo, that's Farrah. She claims it now. Taurus, woo, somebody timestamp Taurus. Taurus risings, Taurus suns, at the high, at the max, Taurus moons, all right? We are now in for the house for you. Fourth house, thank you. Eileen is so efficient, she's also writing the timestamps. That's amazing. Virgo for real. Fourth house, you're going through, I'm missing it. Where's Taurus? Second house. Okay, my bad. Forget the fourth house. Taurus, you're going through the second house transit for Mars in Gemini. Now, what makes this interesting already, Taurus, is that second house is your house, right? Second house is where you feel safe. Second house is where you feel comfortable. We already know, Taurus, that you love the chicken. You love to have the physical, tangible green, the physical, tangible money, but as well as your home. So second house can be the foundational home. This could be foundational resources. All right. This right here, this little sound bowl, this baby guy right here, this is literally a second house resource. Understand that no different than that, these cards, these tarot cards here are a second house resource. All right. The fact that I have a computer, this computer is a second house resource. So second house resources, when I see Mars and Gemini activating the second house for you, Taurus, you don't necessarily like to switch up and change things too much, but Uranus in Taurus, especially while North Node is there, it's been kind of all up in your booty cheeks, right? It's been all in your booty. You got a little break while Mars was in Taurus because it allowed you to slow down your actions, slow down the ways you're asserting yourself. But now while it's in Gemini, you're being forced to take what methods, take what planning you've done and start really acting on it and start to communicate the things that you now value, potentially even with a partner, to communicate your own personal self-worth, communicate how you value yourself, communicate what about everything you is important. You're now looking at it in Taurus. I want to say, like, Uranus in Taurus has already shocked and shaped you up enough. It's already got you more on course with the North Node in Taurus as well, where now if you just start locally moving your body around your city, around your park, go to parks, go to your environment, start having a little bit more curious conversation rather than being so private all the time. And you're going to be able to maximize this next 7 months while Mars has entered Gemini and Mars will be in Gemini. You're going to start maximizing by realizing sometimes being curious in the ways and the discussions that you have will help you to better understand your self-worth, help you better understand what you value about yourself, and help you to better understand what kind of things, like I said, would you like to actually own, would you like to have? Because Taurus, you are I have. Now you're going to start to better be able to think about what you have, because Gemini is I think. So you're taking action about what you think you want to have, which is a little bit outside of your comfort zone. What you got?
For you, Taurus, I have the Knave of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to show you the card upright so you can see it a little bit better and understand it, but know that it came in reverse, which is literally taking your time with investments and investing your resources, whatever this means. It doesn't have to be actual money. It could also mean like investing your time. So think a lot before doing something. This energy is asking you to be a little bit slower in when where you're taking action, and to understand, maybe use this Virgo energy in order to make like a pro-con list or something like that, and understanding how and where to invest your anything that you may have. Just because this is in your second house, it might be actually material resources, but still keep in mind that this could actually refer to time. This could refer to networking. Like, don't refer anyone to anyone. If you have a friend that's doing some business and you think that it could be a good match with another friend that's in another business, just think hard about it before you even do it, because your image might be tainted if this isn't the right thing to do. So that's what I got for you, Tauruses. And yeah, I just see how I messed up with the house.
With the second?
Yeah, because it was going the other way around.
Is this the one that went the other way?
No, this is the right one because Gemini is first.
So it was second house, no?
Yeah, it is second house.
Okay, cool. This was in reversed?
Yeah, it was in reverse.
What was the simple, quick message behind that?
To slow down before investing.
Okay, and that's not too hard for you, Taurus. I mean, it's really not too hard. You already have Mars and Taurus and all of the Taurus energy, so you got that.
Oh, but I mean, even though if they have this fire energy that's gonna make you just act because you feel that you're gonna lose it, because mind you, this Gemini energy, maybe someone is talking to you in such a sweet talk, and it's like, do it now, or you might lose it, or do it now before, right when it's 30% discount or something like that. Don't fall for that trickery.
And the reason why I think that matters is because Taurus rising is not necessarily a Taurus, right? So a Taurus, without any negative aspects or implications, would never act on that. They'd be like, I saw everything you're doing and you just played yourself. A Taurus rising, you're rising to learn how to be so stable, all right? And also trust in your own confidence, your own value, your own self-worth, to realize that you do know when you know these things, all right? So thank you for that, Taurus. I want to give a quick reminder that we're running a Virgo New Moon event, all right? Eileen's going to get ready to drop that link. So definitely show up, show out, get movement with us. We're going to help you connect to intuition. We have our third sign. Who you are? Who are you? Who's the third sign?
Gemini, first house.
Oh God, Gemini, you're the star. Thank you for that. You're so helpful. Gemini, first house. Here we go. This is what this looks like for you. You're taking action and you're beginning to assert yourself on yourself. Gemini, this is actually really positive for you, quite frankly. The only thing you really need to worry about is moving too quickly, moving too impulsively, because while Mars is in your own sign, you're going to be taking real action on literally yourself, on literally your personality. Your personality will have a lot of energy working and for itself. Gem, don't fool yourself, for starters, all right? Because you got your own trickery type energy. You got your own dark and light within you, right? So this is for Gemini's moon, sun, and rising, but the rising with an emphasis, all right? You're rising to learn how to communicate. Who am I, all right? Because first house Aries is like, I am, right? So you're learning how to communicate what you think about yourself more accurately. So it's important not to deceive yourself in this process, especially while you have those squares to Pisces, you have those squares to the illusions you have. Check the data, slow it down, get more routine, all right? Gem, this might actually be you. What is the 12th house for you? What's your 12th house, Gem rising? Your 12th, Taurus?
Taurus.
Okay, so this might be you having to address how have you not taken rest? How have you not taken some time to seclude? Basically sped you up so fast where you are missing. The rest is absent. The taking it slow is absent. Gem, what I'm really getting from this is it's actually tremendously powerful for you to go through a complete new identity shift, to literally become the star of your own life, the star of your own show, the star of how you show up on media outlets, or how you talk about who am I? But in order to do that, you oftentimes need to just take a little bit of space away from the rest of the collective, away from a lot of people, and really kind of like then be able to hit it home on your personality, these upgrades that you're going through. And the 8th house for you is Scorpio. And so Scorpio season is what I'm getting right now. It's going to be critical for you. This is like late October into November. This is where your biggest transformation will happen. You will be in retrograde. So understand everything you're going through from a personality shift, everything you're going through from an identity right now and what's changing rapidly for you. Around those times, the Scorpio season is when you're going to go through that death rebirth of your character, of your ego. There's something about your ego that is going to just be relieved. Something that you thought about yourself, that through the rest, through the isolation, through taking some introspection, and even a lot of movement and new patterns as well, but to manage the mental, I'm feeling like, is going to help you. Taking the rest is going to help you the most. That's how you become the star of yourself. What you got?
Didn't I show you this first? The stars. So this is literally a time where new opportunities are gonna come to you, new career paths, new relationships, and everything. Everything good is coming because you're gonna be having a lot of help from the spiritual world and the material world. So whatever endeavor you're in, this is your time. Just one word of advice: use your power for good. If as much as you use this to help people, their world is gonna be so much better for you. Use your powers wisely because you are highlighted for this season, and the stars is just a very beneficial card. Whatever endeavor you want to be in, it's gonna give you great rewards. So this is my only advice: use your power for good.
Right. They got that dark light element. Somebody definitely timestamp Gemini if you saw it. All right. I do appreciate you tremendously. With that said, we're moving on to one. Tell Courtney, check your WhatsApp because I sent your mantras out, those personal ones to you today. You might have missed it earlier. We want you to really create with that. All right. Get colorful, write them out. Now, beyond that, because this is about everybody else for the moment, you do meet. I lean on Sunday. I'm done. All right. Gemini, here we go.
No, Cancer.
Cancer, here we go.
12th house.
12th house, here we go. Yeah. All right. 12th house, Mars and Gemini. I mean, for Cancer risings, like, I'm not sure this is your favorite time frame. Quite frankly, it's like nobody really likes. Thank you, J-Lo. I see you hashtagging Cancer. Nobody really likes. That was actually very smart. Nobody really likes 12th house. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like 12th house. I mean, 12th house is just where you're forced to surrender. So where I want to warn Cancer risings, Cancer suns, Cancer moons, 12th house for 7 months you're gonna be in a 12th house. That is not fun. Okay, you're being forced to sacrifice. You're being forced to surrender to the areas where Cancer sits in other people's charts. I'm going to give you an example. I have a natal Mars in Cancer in the 8th house. Okay, so a Cancer going through a 12th house transit, you're going to be forced to actually investing in and with me, okay? Literally, because 8th house is investments. If on the really negative, nasty side, this can be sex, right? You'll be forced to, in a sense, surrender to my own personal sexual desires. So it's something to be careful for, all right? Because Mars is the placement of how we assert ourselves sexually. 8th house is also sex. So in a 12th house, for your transit, Mars and Gemini, you not thinking or acting, you not thinking and taking some seclusion to understand how do you want to essentially, Mars and Gemini, yeah, you being too impulsively, you not being aware of somebody with a slick tongue, okay? When I say slick tongue, I'm talking about like that little hustler, okay? That little player who is like whispering sweet nothings in your ear, like, hey, baby girl, how you doing? Once you come back, I'm gonna show you a little something over by the riverside. I heard you were Cancer. You like the sea? I got that water in my backyard. Matter of fact, I got a tub in my bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be very careful for stuff like that and some real. But this also comes with sales. People trying to sell you things. You might, if you caught on to a salesman who had like a Mars and Cancer 3rd house, let's just say for an example, they're gonna be able to sell you water. And you're the whale. It's like you already live in the water. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful. Take some isolation. Take some seclusion. With this being said, definitely understand what are your emotions. What do you need to feel emotionally safe? And this is one of the key themes with Cancer, no matter what house or what placement is being impacted. Don't let somebody to talk logic into you. especially if it doesn't match your feelings. All right, you need to check in with your feelings and your own personal intuition. You are very intuitive. You have the nostalgic memory of everything that has ever lived. Today we looked at the planet that's like 4 billion plus years old. Everything, every animal on the planet.
4,543.
Shut up. Virgo data over here. 4,533. I don't want to hear it. All right. You have animals on your side. Check in with the animals. Gemini, Mars Gemini is local transportation. Take walks in nature. Take walks in the ocean. Take walks in a lake. In the lake. I'm telling you, walk in the lake. All right. Swim, move in the water, move in the tub. All right, with your little rubber ducky. This is how you're going to better understand your own emotions, and nobody's going to be able to play you with that trickster energy.
And literally, that's exactly the card that I pulled. It's the Eight of Chalices, and it came in upright position, which is talking about getting control over your emotions. And this doesn't mean like if you feel angry to just shut it down. No, it means to actually let it out, understand it, and make peace with it, whatever it means. Otherwise, you're gonna feel abandonment, escape, this urge to escape reality, and it's not gonna be healthy at all. You have to let go of something in order to transition through this period. You have to let go of this maybe control, this imaginary control over the situations, because you're simply not gonna have it. You're just gonna have a lot of emotions flowing through you, and you have to understand them in order to act later. Don't just act on whatever emotion you feel first, because you're gonna regret it. For you, I'm feeling meditation is gonna help you. And don't think about meditation as something that you have to do an hour at sunrise in complete silence. Whatever works for you. If it's a guided meditation that lasts 5 minutes, then that's all you need. You just need to be in control of yourself, of your and make this spirit, mind, and body to become one.
Bang. The escapism is the only thing I want to add on, because I forgot about escapism in the 12th house. All right. So right now it's like you can't escape certain conversations about your emotions. Period. There's certain conversations about your emotions. Woo! Leo. Somebody hashtag Leo. As Eileen, go ahead and type in one more time the new moon yoga that we're doing, just to keep y'all fresh and updated. Leo, thank you, J Lo. Shout out to you. You are going through the 11th house. This is a great freaking house. All right. This is a great transit for you, Leo. Leo and Gemini, that's wind and fire. Y'all work well together. All fire signs work well with air. All right. Leo, Mars entering Gemini. Mars and Gemini, you're taking action with those friendships and those connections. I saw Leo rising in here. I think that was Sabrina that I last saw.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you.
There were like 2 Leo risings.
Shout out to my Leo risings. Always lovely. High energy people. Big fucking smiles. Really love to love life and just enjoy the party. The party doesn't have to be you going to a party. The party can just be you partying with yourself and walking in a park. All right. Mars and Gemini hitting your 11th house is really helping you to actually take, to use media, I want to say, especially to use technology for your advantage, to get you connected more. I don't even want to necessarily say deeply, but even potentially a little bit more superficially. If I'm being honest, Leo risings, you might even be more willing to be a little bit more superficial here and there in order to create the connections, in order to create the network, in order to involve yourself in the right social circles for people that will start to support your aspirations and your dreams. All right. For people to start supporting your passion work. And Leo, we all know you love to be passionate. Mars and Gemini is a symbol that will highly favor the creative. Leo, you are creative expression. You are the most confident when it comes to creative expressing yourself and not caring what everybody else thinks. Now, especially if you're Leo rising, you're rising to the boldness and the courage and the confidence to express yourself in such a way. Mars and Gemini will allow you enough leniency, enough curiosity, enough of a childlike level of action and creativity to better experience yourself for everything you are and get you closer over the next 7 months to your dream life. What you got? Infomercial, baby. This is InfoWars. Did you hear what I just did? Did you hear what I just said? This is the trickery energy at the same time. I'm calling it out right now. Do not get wet and get your panties in a bunch when you hear somebody speak something that sounds all good. They making that sale. They're selling themselves. be careful, especially with these friends and these networks. This 11th house of Leo you're going through. You're rising to be that confident person that learns how to be the best within a connection circle of others. But be very careful of that infomercial, that info war that is on the title, okay? Because trickster energy is involved. Go ahead.
And for you, I have the Knave of Swords, which is literally stepping into new ideas, new beliefs. You're gonna feel so energetic, but this is still just ideas. It's not acting on anything yet. So you have to explore it. Use this time to explore all of the ideas, all the options that you have surrounding you, and whatever resonates most with you, that's the one that you're gonna pick. And as soon as we're out of this retrograde, put them in motion, put them in action. But this is a great time to just understand what these ideas look like to you, and remember that with everything new, it comes the tearing apart of the old. So don't get too attached to all of those old beliefs, old patterns, old ideas that you have. Just drop them out and focus on the new.
I see your comments, Sabrina. I'm gonna keep moving so that I don't get caught up on it. But for the brief moment, I said you gotta be careful with aquas at night, man. Them motherfuckers is dangerous, okay? Because aquas ain't really got no feelings, all right? They just out here and they raw diggity with it. If y'all friends, okay, if you're friends with an aqua, especially in a sexual relationship, don't be aware that they can play that friend line and they can stay on that friend line even in sexual endeavors. They don't have to be very emotionally attached or involved. I don't know what their moon is, so that'll help me better understand it. But I just want to say, be mindful, all right? Because Gemini is another one of those signs that while Mars in Gemini, they could literally have, you know, relations or one night stands and mind you, like it's cutting energy. Like wind signs, swords are cutting type energy. So they really not that connected on an emotional level. So just be mindful. I don't know what your situation is, but I had to say that. Loki has entered the chat. What's up, Elijah? How you doing? Happy
Still
to see you.
doing telekinesis?
Yo, that was the funniest thing. Can we take a break before we mention Libra? Elijah, can I give him the green light on the telekinesis? Because this was the funniest motherfucking comment I ever heard. But I'm going to ask for permission before I do. So I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to give Libra's report.
No, Virgo.
Virgos, thank you. It's a movie. I believe it. Literally right now. What's FWB?
Where do you see? Oh.
What's FWB?
I have no idea. I'm not familiar with this language.
I'm
Mexican. Please enlighten me.
I'm an interdimensional alien.
You beat me.
Earlier I tagged her as a collaborator. Thank you. I can't even freaking unzoom from the computer. Earlier I tagged her as a collaborator and I didn't know how to like repost it. And she's like, wow, Pernell, can you tell them what you said? Because you're going to do it better than me.
I'm like, how can you be so wise? How can you have so much knowledge and still human things, the easiest human things, are so hard for you? But like 2 clicks, done.
I was like, and I went where she went and I still couldn't figure it out. I'm like, ugh. But okay, friends with benefit. Thank you. I have never heard that FWB thing.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You never heard it?
I mean, not in this thing because I'm Mexican.
I haven't. I mean, I heard of friends with benefits.
Yeah,
I just never knew the tag.
Amigos con beneficios.
Amigos con beneficios. You got amigos con beneficios?
Not right now.
You trying to get that elbow in the face?
Hey.
Now you trying to get that nah. She about to get knocked out on camera. I'm going to jail, Mexico, y'all. I'm about to get hit up by the. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm stopping right there. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely hit that thumbs and that likes up button. Elijah, I see you. I'm about to give them the story. You know, we already broke between Libra. Let's give him a story. So Elijah's hitting me up. He's on my WhatsApp, right? And you know, I was talking to him about the abundant reality. Shout out to everybody in there, all right? And I was talking to him about it. Y'all, appreciate y'all. And you know, he was like, man, I'm in that point where I kind of need a community. I need a tribe. And I really recognized it because after the night we had a phone convo, the lightning was striking. I was on the rooftop of our building. I could see the mountains. The sky was red and yellow and orange. And then the lightning was going. It And I'm talking to Elijah at the same time. And I'm like, Elijah, check this video. While he was talking about some similar places that I have, right? I'm gonna leave his placements out of it. And later the next morning, I'm at breakfast. Because I turned my phone off at night. I told him, I said, yo, all right, I'm going to bed. This is it, right? Like, I don't do too much at nighttime. I ain't talking to nobody. I'm going to bed. So I went, check in the morning, I'm getting ready to make breakfast. And he's like, he sent me a video. And he's like, yo, man, you know, I really need a little community like this, something like that, because last night I was talking to my mom, you know, and she was like, stop that witchcraft shit. Stop that nonsense. Stop that tarot card jargon. What's all these demons in our house? The devil was in you, get out. And he was like, Mom, it's just a little telekinesis. I was fucking dying, yo. I was like, oh.
She was so happy to be existing in the same time where this happened. Like, Mom, just a little telekinesis. Chill out.
Yeah, I thought it was the funniest thing. I gotta tell you why I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny because, like I said, one, again, I'm in the most like religious state of Mexico you can even be in. There's a church every block. And just the other day, I'm in the cafe playing tarot cards with myself, right? And, you know, I'm in there and it's like I see people looking, but they're looking curiously, like the culture is changing, right? It's like, oh my God, they're like, there's like these random guys who wear green bandanas and circular glasses.
He's obviously foreign too.
I'm a very foreign person here, right? It's obvious.
Yeah.
So I just laugh because I've been going through this for the last 4 or 5 years. No matter where I go, I'm always that awkward duck, that awkward goose. They're like, what is this guy about, right? And so when I heard him say, you know, Mom, it's just a little telekinesis, Mom. And I was thinking to myself, it's like, yeah, I practice telekinesis as well. But at the same time, it's sitting there and I'm having the moment where I'm like, I grew up as well in a religious household. I know for her, you could tell your own story.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was even telling my sister, like, hey, don't buy yours. Because we had like a wish list for a Christmas thing with all of us, like my sister, my mom, and I together, so we could all see what we wanted for Christmas. And I actually, these cards, I asked for these cards for Christmas, and my mom told my sister, like, don't get her those things because she's gonna have strange ideas. But you can obviously think that those strange ideas are like, she's getting the devil in. And I thought it was so funny because my sister told me, like, I'm just telling you so you're aware what our mom thinks about you.
Mad funny. You know, and for everybody, because I'm not picking on Elijah by any means. So for everybody out there, you know, I say it like this to share my own story. I remember my last trip home. And it was already happening since I was like 16. I was telling her a story when I was like 16 years old. And it was like, I'm going to leave it out. Let's just say magical stuff was happening. And my mom was there and she kind of knew early. So I remember the last trip that I took home to see my family. I remember telling my mom outright. And I was like, Mom, on some real, this is what it is. I was like, Mom, I slay demons. I said it straight out. Because after when I had first met her, you felt the energy.
Yeah,
I felt her breathing on me so heavy. She was like blowing steam out. I literally told her, after meeting Eileen, it's been happening on my own all my life. But now it's like I had an actual Mexican bruja on my side where it's like, it was that first moment, like in all sincerity, I felt like I can get bigger. I can start getting more honest, if I'm being real, with the fact that I am an exorcist. I exorcise demons for a living. Like, for a living, okay? And I went home and I remember that told my mom after I met her a month later, and I was like, Mom, you know what? On some real, I slay demons. I fight them for a living. This is my profession. I understand that I run a YouTube channel about astrology, but it's a front, Mom. It's just a front. It's a cover. It just gives me enough disguise to talk about something, to speak about the truth, to speak about the real. Our realities are converging, okay? The physical world and the metaphysical world, they're colliding. And because of that, the veils are breaking. The dream worlds are more lucid and they're thinning at the veil. And it's like things are crossing over, Mom. And when they do, I slap these demons silly sideways and upside down. And so I wanted to kind of shoot that out because this is nothing against any one person. Everybody on this channel, I'm pretty sure, has some similar story somehow, some way, because you wouldn't be listening to me this long if you didn't agree or at least vibe with the fact that you know shit, okay, that can't happen in physical reality. You know things, your senses, you've seen things, you smell things, you've heard things, all right? let's just stop playing. All right.
Yeah, and Pharaoh, especially for us as Pisces, the dreams being wild, it's just one more indication about these veils being thin. I was just telling Pernell that there's been some times in my life where I literally don't know if I'm dreaming or not, because it feels so powerful. I'm also understanding lucid dreaming a little bit more, so just pay attention to that. It might benefit you to start practicing this lucid dreaming thing, because they are showing us a lot of things that are foreshadowing, and precisely I had dreams in my life, like, I don't know, 10 years ago that are materializing right now. I'm like, this happened in a dream, but 10 years ago. Like, I don't know even the same people, the same places, everything's different. It was foreign to me at first, and now it's just happening. So just be mindful of that and use this power, Pisces power.
Wow, you see that? You're going to enjoy that. Look at Sabrina's last comment.
My grandfather was saved by a healing witch as an infant. Yeah. It makes me happy.
The foreshadows becoming so apparent. Yeah, so just understand, anybody on this channel, never, when you talk about Mars and Gemini on some real, we're starting to take action on those dark light elements. Now, again, if I look at the light, this is the, but the dark, Gemini can see 8th house for Scorpio, okay? Scorpio is the 8th house. Gemini can see the things that Scorpio sees. It just may not be so inclined to go as deep. So when you put Mars there, we're now taking action on these more creative endeavors using our hands. Now, what do you need to use your hands? Candle magic, right? If you're gonna make herbal or bruja remedies and teas, like we're gonna be teaching you, you wanna share what we might, just not too much, we gotta keep it a surprise, a little bit about the herbal remedy and the new moon.
Yeah, it's all about making it a ritual. We're going to be using actual herbs in order to do something that helps us remove whatever is stuck in our small intestine, which is related to Virgo. So it is a Virgo new moon. You're starting a new path, so you want to let go of anything that doesn't serve you anymore. So that's where the herbal magic is going to help you a lot, because you're going to also, it's not just drinking tea for the sake of drinking tea. It's drinking something that is going to help your intestine, like your body in a physical level, but also making a ritual. So it gets processed also in your spiritual world and your emotional world.
This is Mars and Gemini with the hands, okay? I just put that in the chat. This is Mars and Gemini, being creative, being curious with your hands, okay? So when I think Gemini, Mars and Gemini, this is hands-on magic. This is no longer theory. When you're learning, this is like the magicians. We didn't get to finish the show. We're watching the magicians. This is like the magicians. This is learning.
It's because it's not in Mexico.
It's not in Mexico.
It's discrimination.
Yeah, because it's
I just got so angry when I saw that the magicians were in Netflix
but
in
if
Mexico.
you think about it, it's a very, what is it? It's not Catholic. What is the religion here? Christianity? Is it Catholicism? Catholicism?
I think it goes wild until
whatever the religion is.
Catholicism and Christianism.
Catholicism and Christianism. It's like, this is a show about magicians, all right? In Mexico, they banned it. It's just that simple, okay? This is Mars and Gemini. You, as you begin to be more curious in the practices of learning magic, of learning how to be hands-on with spells, with rituals, all right? You have to understand that, like, not everybody is going to rock with you. So this is a part of the trickster energy with Mars and Gemini. The fact that you're now practicing curiously these new modalities with your physical hands. You're now doing breath work, which Gemini are the lungs. So when you do breath work, what happens? You get close. You smell it, right?
I felt something. I felt something.
I did too. Oh, the water's on the low. The water's on the low. You know, you start getting, oh crap, the water is on the back of it. Can you pour some of that in
there? Yeah.
Or maybe I will. Yeah, you probably more careful. We gotta I'm gonna show y'all what's happening up top. We got one of these little, you can see I burnt that somehow. This is one of our little diffusers. We put some essential oils in there. This is kind of when I said this is hands-on. I'm going to say it again, hands-on magic, okay? So if I say hands-on magic, magic doesn't have to be something where you see these sparks flying and stuff like that, right? It could be just as simple as, this is a hands-on technique, right? We have a diffuser, and now, with this trickster type energy, we're using media, Gemini, right? We're using Mars, media. We're putting a little bit of almond oil, which helps with luck and prosperity, all right? You put in a little heliotropo, which I think is helichrysum, all right? Oil, helichrysum oil, which helps with hate, quite frankly. It helps with envy, all right? This is, again, hands-on magic. Quite frankly, it's not that hard. It's just a little bit of water in a diffuser. But knowing and practicing the intentions and recognizing what is the difference. Hands-on magic. All right, I had to use my hands to do what? To put this tiger eye on my right ear. What does tiger eye do on the right? What did you learn about this so far? Tiger eyes on the right side specifically will not allow evil spirits to come in. It'll literally deflect them on the right. But on the left, it'll give you the confidence required and necessary to be creatively expressive. This is magic, ladies and gentlemen. It's not something so you have to read this long ritual spell and you're casting and bringing in, demons from another dimension. Does that exist? Absolutely. I don't recommend it, okay? I just don't. But understand that in the real waking world, you should still protect yourself, especially when it comes to media right now, all right?
Yeah.
You're out there, go ahead.
I also want to tap on that because earlier in the week, I was asking some friends to go to my channel and subscribe in order to actually have this live from my phone unlocked. And one friend told me that another friend was telling her, like, I didn't know that Eileen was doing this kind of thing. Like in a perspective where like this isn't her, what the hell is happening here? So you have to be sure about what you're doing, why you're doing it, what's your purpose, because this is gonna help you to understand which friendships are worth keeping and which ones aren't. And even though like this friend, we stopped talking like I know when everything stopped, like 2020, March 2020, we stopped talking. So it's been 2 years and until now he's like disapproving of everything I do. I mean, maybe in another time this would have stopped me from actually doing what I'm doing, the public eye. This is why at first I didn't even want to show my face in social media while doing this tarot pulls and candle magic and all of that. But then I understood like people need to see a face, people need to understand, people need to be connected. I need to make a community where everyone feels safe. And how are you gonna feel safe with someone who's not showing their face? So that was finally the last straw who taught me like, I need to do this in order for everyone else to feel safe, and we can all explore together this intuition connection to practice these things where anyone can say openly like, yeah, I'm doing telekinesis, so what? This is how you do it. I can help you with it if you want. It's about making everything that was taboo, not taboo, like normal, the new normal, if you want to put it in a way.
Yo, so we're going to get to Virgo. Elijah, the last thing I say to you, because I just saw your last comment, I cannot believe you have a Mars in Gemini in the 10th. Go public, homie. Go public, homie, with anything creative. To you. No one can tell you what that is.
Yeah, it could be writing, it could
It
be
could be
making
writing a
films,
book,
it could be
films.
art,
Boom. Don't got to be tarot.
and dancing.
It don't got to be telekinesis, dancing, boxing, whatever it is. Your abundance, quite frankly, I don't know where your Jupiter is, but it will start to come when you take physical action publicly. All right, Virgo, where we at? What
Virgo.
house? Virgo. I'm a hashtag Virgo. We got a timestamp, and
10th house.
Virgo is the 10th.
Oh, career.
Career. Thank you, J-Lo. I appreciate you. Taking action on the career, Virgo. I mean, it is that simple, just for a starter. Now, Virgo. Excuse me. Pardon me. 10th house. Virgo, because you are who you are, you also going through a third house as well. So, Virgo, on some real, this is one of the best times for you to make sales, Virgo. People will understand your message. People will be receptive to what you're speaking, Virgo. Rising, suns, moon. They will be willing to be responsive, receptive to the ways in which you move around your environment, your community, your neighbors, all right? They will be receptive to how you show up on a new public image, and you're going to be really requiring, I think that right now, Mars and Gemini is going to require you to be less analytical. It's going to require you to be less about the details, less about the fact check, and be willing to be curious, to be willing to be a 7-year-old little kid who is willing to be more creative, more innovative, and less, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Because I want to say that more for my Virgo sun moons, all right? For a Virgo rising, you're still going to require the structures. You're still going to require the routines as well as physical exercise to take care of your body. By you moving around and just taking more walks, Virgo, you're going to help yourself tremendously with the mental jargon, okay? The self-criticism about I'm not enough, about, this I can't show my creative, endeavors. I can't talk about publicly what I really enjoy, what I love. I can't show this new art piece, Be mindful how critical you are of yourself, especially in this moment, and be very careful about when you see other people talking smack about you and what you look like now on a public career. When I hear this, I feel like the trick to you as you go through a 10th house is that you're projecting, all right? You're attracting the type of people who will replicate your negative inner self-talk, your negative inner critic. And publicly, you got to be very mindful of this, because ultimately, I think on the positive side is everything I said in the beginning, that people will be very receptive to you. So Virgo, what I want to say is start speaking a piece of gratitude every day. My personal suggestion is to every day say something kind about yourself that's true. Wow, I really like this scarf that I'm wearing. Wow, these new glasses are really doing it for me. I look like a star. Whatever it is, start doing some positive affirmations, speak them, third house, all right? Speak them out loud daily, and you're going to be able to better control that inner critic.
Virgo, for you, I have nothing but good news. Your card is Nine of Chalices, and as you can see right here, it's literally a birthday wish coming through. This is why this person is on her birthday. He's making a wish. Everyone else around her is happy, fulfilling her wishes. So just take whatever it is that you feel like it's a chance right now, because you're gonna go wild. You're gonna go big. This is gonna be so good for you. Whatever wish it is that you have, it's gonna be completed. Just trust in yourself, trust in what you're doing. Don't let anyone else put you down with this talk. Remember, those are your words. This is just the energy right now, and don't take anything personal, because it never is. And especially in this time, it's people just expressing these feelings that they have that they don't understand, and they are not dealing with these emotions properly. So what do? Is spill them out loud in the first person that they feel it's a mirror, or someone that they envy, because this is the only two options that you get. When someone is doing something that you don't feel comfortable with, and you actually have this feeling of just going towards them in an angry way, just charging to them, is because they either are mirroring or they have envy of you. And in this case, it's gonna be envy. They're gonna envy your success. So just stay strong with yourself. Understand that what you're doing is within your beliefs, and this is everything that you need to know. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be great. Use this energy, Virgo.
I just typed and forgive the grammar because I don't want to spend too much on typing stuff, but Hella Christum, high recommendation. She's been working with it recently. I think that it's really working wonders. I can see it myself in real time. Like I said, put some Hella Christum oil in your olive oil or your coconut oil when you massage your skin. I did say body lotion, but I don't ever recommend using lotion. And Virgo, you're a very natural creature, so I recommend using it because it does reflect and repel envy as you go public. It does reflect and repel hate and people having anger towards you. So do rock with that. Start putting that in daily during this Mars and Gemini train. I think that it's going to change your life drastically.
And especially with essential oils, I do recommend, for myself, coconut oil has been the best transport for the essential oils, because it stays in the skin and it moisturizes it. It does wonders, and the smell just stays with you the whole day, and that's helping you because it is like a soda. Remember, through your smelling, that it is working there.
Boom. And that's for her skin. All right. I got that dark chocolate skin, and olive oil works better for me. I'm just going to be honest. It works wonders. All right. But you got to apply it to your skin. Know it for yourself. There's no right or there's no wrong.
And lotion, it should be a neutral one. If you still want to rock with lotion, just do it. Because honestly, I do it sometimes. I do use like a cocoa shea butter or something like that lotion, just when my skin is cracked and it's moist. And it's moisturizing. But I do it with no oils.
I love shea butter. I mean, I've never really seen shea butter just raw by itself. That'd be great. I would love some shea butter. Oh, jojoba oil. Mojojojo. Jojoba. We go back and forth about this Mojo Jojo.
Mojojojo.
Because in Spanish, in what was that? Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah,
in
Powerpuff
Spanish
Girls.
is mojojojo.
Las chicas superpoderosas.
Las chicas superpoderosas. But in English is Mojo Jojo. So we go back and forth about how to say jojoba oil or jojoba oil.
Yeah, in Spanish it's jojoba oil, but it's funny to listen to it in another way.
Dark castor oil. Ooh, that sounds seductive.
Yeah.
That
It sounds interesting enough. Write it down.
That just got wet when you said that.
Hey.
Whoosh. All right, here we go. Next we have
Libra, 9th house.
Libra. Timestamp.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Got Libra. You are going through 9th house. Travel.
Long distance travel.
Long distance. Going overseas, baby. Finally taking that leap. Finally going somewhere that is completely uncomfortable. Finally embracing your curiosity. I did get some early heads up about there will be some squares around November 30th. There will be a square between Venus and Sagittarius, which is valuing long distance travel. Venus valuing Sagittarius, long distance travel, or philosophy, or taking courses, classes. All right, shifting and changing your beliefs, allowing old beliefs to dissolve. Libra is one of the key themes with you. You are now through further education, through curious education. You're taking the evolution of what you learned, and you're allowing yourself to dissolve old belief systems. Now you have to apply where have the beliefs came for you. Okay, is it from your parents? Is it from a teacher? Right, this could have been a 3rd grade teacher. So understand that our beliefs aren't just structured from our parents, right? Like our parents aren't the root of all evil. Though they have a lot of it, it ain't the root of all evil, right? So it's like, check your beliefs. This could have been from a relationship. Like for my cancers out there, people with cancer placements, we get imprinted at like 16, 14 years old. And that first heartbreak, whatever that was, that shapes a lot of our beliefs in our dating life and our dating career. So take beliefs as an overall theme and recognize that in the 9th house, you are through discussion, through conversation, through allowing yourself to travel, even alone, by thinking for yourself, you're going to start to realize that you have your own beliefs. You have your own things that you see with that 3rd eye, your own things you see that your physical eyes cannot see as clearly. And through that level of intuition, I think it's highly favored for you to take those long distance travel. It's going to help tremendously. Do be mindful, November 30th, in this retrograde space of Gemini and Mars, there will be a hard square direct at 18 degrees. So this is again saying, check your routines and get routine. All right, use the Virgo season. This Virgo season is so critical. It's the last piece of evidence to keep you safe, in a sense, with just knowing, look, here's my set ground. I say this because of the 18 degree square between Mars and Gemini and Venus, for you knowing you're going to travel. You may feel inclined to want to stay familiar. I think that you can't go wrong or right whether you go long distance or whether you stay. I do think that the greater abundance will come to you if you take a long trip overseas. I will be honest, and that's over the next 7 months. All right. I do want to say that later in the year, around November 30th, you're going to likely have some people challenging your beliefs, challenging what you think that you want to do for these trips, that you want to do for the class or the course you want to take. They're going to challenge your belief, but you know how to play the win-win situation, especially if you're a Libra rising. You're rising to learn how to balance out the win-win, and you have to apply it to yourself. A Libra sun knows more how to do that on the reg. So take and pick and choose how you play with the energy and the interpretation that we gave from our Libra risings, suns, and moons. I think the moons and the suns are more familiar with this. The risings, you're rising to understand how to do it. So just be mindful. Eileen has your next report.
Yeah, I'm actually a Libra rising this year, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It had the strength in reverse, which is about repressed desires. And this, I know exactly where this comes from. People pleasing. You're repressing your desires in order to actually make someone else in your circle like easier, familiar, have more comfort. But you have to start putting yourself first. You have to start being a little bit selfish. And I had a lot of trouble with this word because I'm a Pisces. Like I've always thought of myself as a person who's the most selfless person in the world. So when everyone started telling me like I need to be selfish, I literally went like how do you call it, short circuit, when the wires,
Short circuit.
yeah, short circuit, like it did not compute. My brain went to like,
Ooh.
brain fart. It's not happening. What? But this is my actual recommendation for you. Start being selfish. Don't repress those desires to please someone else. Think about pleasing yourself. And yes, this could be long distance travel, but it also could mean higher learning, some higher education that you have for yourself. Don't let these limitations, because I do feel like there might be a limitation of income, resources, or something stepping on your way. But if you really want it, if your intuition is telling you that it's something that you need to do, just listen to it, because it's most likely to be true and to actually help you go further into this Libra rising stuff.
Yeah, because ninth house is Jupiter's energy. It's Sagittarius energy. It's risky energy. It's basically saying you take the risk and we're going to reward you. Even if we take something along the way, we're going to overall reward you way more than what we take. So do be mindful of that. You just get lucky in the ninth house. Things just work out really well. All right. Here we go. Who's next? Scorpio. Oh, you're so smart. I see what you're doing now. All right. You're so clever. 8th house, Scorpio. Thank you for those timestamps. For those of you who are there. 8th house, Scorpio. I am a Scorpio rising. So.
Oh, just before we go to Scorpio rising, I seen J-Lo speaking about digging deep into this higher knowledge, because human design, gene keys, health, of course, this is all in the 9th house of higher education. So if you have a liberal placement, just listen to it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, and notice J-Lo was one of the prime examples, right? So she was considering the abundant reality. Did she actually come and join on? No, but why? Because she understood what the values were, what she had the time, the space, and the energy and the resources to do, right? She has kids and other things, yada, yada, yada. She's already involved in multiple other courses. So it's like, this is part of intuition that Eileen was saying. Is like, just because something might look good or shiny, don't forget the trickster energy. It's like, don't forget that sales energy of Gemini and Mars, being willing and able to speak any and everything. So be mindful of these people trying to push above and beyond, because they know you're a people pleaser, because they know you have that energy where like you don't really want to say no.
Yeah, it's hard to say no.
It's hard to say no, so be mindful. But J-Lo's a prime example. She clearly said no, and she had the understanding, her own intuition, and what she saw with her third eye about why the no was the no. She's like, look, I'm involved in enough things right now. I'm taking my higher learning. So be very careful. I want to say shout out to you for really honoring your intuition, right? Yeah. All right, Scorpio. Here we go. We got a new timestamp.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. She wrote the new time down as well. Scorpio, 8th house. Here we go. This is always a nice house for you.
Scorpio 8th house.
Scorpio is your house. You like being there. All right. This is the research, Scorpio. Taking action, asserting yourself, Mars on the research. But also I'm getting like breaking down barriers on what you're learning when it comes to research. It's kind of going to be about learning how to flex and be flexible with doing the deeper research in the 8th house, understanding occult knowledge and the hidden aspects of life, the hidden aspects of what was once unconscious, bringing consciousness to it through death and rebirth transformations and cycles. But it's like, Scorpio, what I feel like for you is like, you're not going to only be in the dark with this, and you're not only going to be in the light. All right, because again, Gemini is the light and the dark. You're now able to shift back and forth and not get so stuck, where Scorpio is a fixed sign. So I said this a little bit earlier, me as a Scorpio rising, we can get stuck in the research. I remember I got stuck in the research at a point. So this is going to be a house where you're going to take a lot of action, assertion towards learning. But this is one of the things where, like, by making sure that you get out and allow yourself, in a sense, to be social in the in-between moments, all right? Do a lot of writing, all right? Especially to discover more of the deeper emotions, Scorpio. This is happening when you're going to go in Scorpio season as well, right? So do be mindful of that. This is a lot of first house action that's going to happen for you. You have your South Node in Scorpio. Mars is your natural ruler. I'm a Scorpio rising. Everything I just said, it almost makes me a little nervous and excited at the same damn time. Because why? That's a lot of things happening. It's a lot of death and rebirth going around in my own personal personality. I'm also in Aries. So everything that happens in Mars just impacts me a crap ton more. 7 months, Scorpio risings, as well as suns. You're going to be here, Mars and Gemini. A highly creative time. Highly creative time. This is a time where you're able to use media, and I can give you a prime example for me myself. One of the latest endeavors I'm really looking forward to is on this particular channel, Eileen and I are actually going to start making jewelry. We're going to start, if I look at this specific bracelet, this bracelet it was handmade, right? And
well, I think all of them.
all of them are, except for this blue lapis lazuli. This is just brought normal. These were handmade, all of them, right? And they have specific uses. Eileen gave this to me, this one with the bells, as a gift, as a prime example. This is third house creativity. It has 7 colors of the evil eyes going off in a protection, but it also has the bells, okay? 8th house is the house of the occult. It's the house where demons sit and lay. Other than 12th house, but 8th house, we go deeper into that demon work. So it's like these bells, this gift, literally this handcrafted, third house, handcrafted design, and the bells that ring off, it actually keeps bad spirits away. It harmonizes my own personal energy, my own spirit. It harmonizes my own emotions. When I hear bells, I feel safer. I feel calmer. So, Scorpio, this looks like, I gave you a prime example. I'm getting ready to start actually involving and embracing having jewelry as a part of something, as an extension of my YouTube channel. So this is kind of coming soon. So, Scorpio, this is just some examples. There's so many more things, but it's a highly creative time. And it's a time where, you know, you're going to better understand through these arts, these hand arts, these handcrafts, me boxing, like I gave the example, me using my hands, me boxing. I'm going to better be able to help rise these hidden emotions in Scorpio South Node, rise these deep muddy waters, these deep traumatic and more painful experiences in my life, and find the light in them as well. And this is why I think this is so helpful for you with Gemini and Mars. Find the dark and the light, not just get caught in the dark, not just get caught on the happy light side, but be able to shift and navigate the two.
Yeah, the card that came out for you is the Three of Wands. It is on reverse. I'm going to show it to you upright so you can appreciate the art, but it was on reverse. And it's about not getting too cocky and don't celebrate too fast, because you could get caught up on that. It has something to do with the statement that Pernell just did about don't get too caught up on the positive and don't get too caught up in the negative either. So you might have a little step towards the success and then feel like, okay, celebrating and that's it and you're over with it. No, because the path is not over. This is just the 3. You have another 7 numbers to go and climb up still. So keep that in mind. Of course, acknowledge every step that you make towards it. You do have to pat yourself in the back for this. You do have to keep recognizing that you're going and moving forward, and that's great, but don't celebrate too fast. Just don't think that you're on the top of the mountain when you're just climbing up.
Yeah, I want to like almost second that, because again, notice me speaking about this as a Scorpio rising. I completely missed that. Why? It's the impulsivity of Mars and Gemini. It's the impulsivity. So that's really great to hear. I'm going to ask her about that again later, because I was like half listening and half out. But it's a prime example. Be careful with Mars and Gemini. I can only say that over and over and over because it has a trickster element. All right. Remember, Gemini is not necessarily the master of anything, but it's like the jack of all trades, right? It's the jack of all trades. So, Elijah, I did see your message. I didn't see the video, obviously, because I can't watch that right now, but I see the written part. And I want to say shout out to you. I'm really happy for you, homie. I do see your message on WhatsApp. All right, here we go.
Sagittarius in the 7th house.
Sag in the 7th house. This is your shadow aspect. Thank you, somebody. Hashtag Sagittarius. Sagittarius in the
Thank you, J-Lo.
7th house. Thank you, J-Lo. We appreciate you tremendously. All right, Sag. This is your shadow, right? This is your shadow self. This is your shadow house. Mars in the 3rd, opposite of you. To be honest, what the hell does that mean? I have no idea. I'm going to let Eileen go first as I collect my thoughts.
Yeah, well, the card that you got is a 10 of. Oh, it's once. Oh, I was so relieved because I thought it was a 10 of swords and I was like, oof, this is not gonna be good. But the 10 of wands is, I mean, it's not as bad, but it isn't good. It's about carrying more things that you can. You're burdened, you're overwhelming, you have a lot of pressure, you're overextending yourself, trying to please everybody else and doing things for someone else. And this could be as simple as doing something for family, like it's my mom, I can't say no, or it's my sister, I have to help her. So just give, but just what you have to give. And remember that you are first. You have to put yourself first. You have to put your well-being first. So anything that's outside of that, I say, I'm sorry, but I can't help you right now. I'm sorry, but I'm tired. And this is, all of this is valid. Any of this is valid. So just take care of yourself. Understand that you really don't have to carry a lot of more weight that you can actually support, because then you're pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah, and I guess as a part of it being the seventh house, she definitely helped me to clarify why this is a part of your shadow, right? Because Sag, you are a collective energy. You are one of the collective signs, so you do work for humanity. Now, a lot of people can see you as selfish, and there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, we can all fight for why that could be a very selfish sign, but at the end of the day, you're in the collective. You're a fire sign, and you are honestly responsible for a lot of different people on a collective level, helping people to feel more optimistic, more inspired by your actual ability to live life, by your travels, by your philosophies and the ones that you share, by you bringing light into the zodiac in the darkest hour, because the last 6 zodiac signs are in the dark and you're the only fire that happens. You're the only break of day, the only break of light during that time. So this is going to happen while Mars in Gemini for the next 7 months for my Sagittarius, suns, moons, and risings. And so what's so important about that is everything Eileen just said is like, make sure that you don't get too lost in the impulsivity of kind of carrying out your more collective and even spiritual duties, because you do see the truth, the raw truth, the truth at the core, the truth with the third eye, not the physical eyes. And as a part and because of that, it's really important to not get lost in the sauce. This is really what that message looks like for Sagittarius. I mean, I feel like it's not too much more than that, so I'm going to just hit you right there with it. You could, I'm just going to hit you right there with it. It's just that simple. Definitely hit the like, definitely hit the thumbs up. All right, I'm going to move on to Capricorn and hit you with the message. Capricorn, we are going through the sixth house. Okay, here we go. That's the work house. Capricorn, some parts of you like to be there. Now, part of why you like to be there is because, I said this a little bit earlier, work is one of the forms of escapism, okay, for you as a Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. Now, that's on the downside. It's not everybody that's doing that. It is a very easy habit, because 6th house can be part habits, 3rd house can be part habits. It's our 3rd house is like the behaviors that we have that can turn into habits when it hits the 6th house. So be mindful of the behaviors that you have, the skills that you are learning, the skills that you're acting on while you're in the 3rd house. Be careful and mindful of them. In the meanwhile, because Cap, you love to work. You are a very routine person. Naturally, you're very structured. All right, these are not the issues for you on a standard. But if you're a Cap rising, you could be rising to learning how to use that data, that analyzation. 6th house is analyzation. It's data, right? You could be, if you're rising as a Cap, it could be a little bit different than a sun or a moon. You could be rising to learn how to analyze that data, and you can have a whole bunch of information. And it's important not to get caught up and lost in all the information that you have, all the information you've been given, especially the ones you've been given by others, because again, Gemini is the twins. It has that reflective energy, right? So it can reflect these dark light elements of yourself. It can reflect, what have you for information and what you don't have for information. You might not have all the details, but you might believe you do. That might be a part of the trick. It might be a part of the illusion and the deception. So really, I'm going to hand it to Eileen from here.
It's right on point because we have the Seven of Swords. This is actually an Aquarius moon energy, which means there's a lot of information hidden. There's a lot of things that are not coming to the surface. So it's likely that you get trickery, that you get a lot of deception. But this is also about not giving up too soon. No, just because you what you're seeing forward is not especially inspiring for you, it doesn't mean that you have to give up. You have to keep going a little bit more than you actually understand right now, because it is part of the deception to make you think that you're not gonna succeed when you're actually going to. So stay true to your beliefs. If your instinct is telling you to move forward and to keep going, then listen to that, because that's the most important thing that you can do right now with this energy. So just keep moving, believe in yourself, and don't let this deception come through you.
Yeah, and to kind of add on to that, it's like what I'm really getting for you as she says that is, excuse me, this is the fact that this is the fact that Mars will go retrograde, right? Mars will retrograde. So you don't give up. Why? Because that's just telling you what do you need to reflect on during that time frame. How can you benefit from introspection? How can you benefit from setting up proper boundaries, new boundaries in the retrograde of Mars and Gemini that will better help you to become more efficient in everything that you were already working towards, everything you were already pushing towards. You're pushing towards something, and what's important to remember about these mutable energies, Virgo, Pisces, Gemini in the sky, is that they work best by dissolving things, okay? So they're not always just pushing. You have to push you as a Capricorn with a cardinal energy, but then let other things dissolve along the way. Let other things just wither away and almost cease to matter, and then you're going to be left with something. But if you give up too soon, you're not going to make it through the part where things are withering away. Things are actually pooping themselves out, if you will.
Yeah, and just to clarify, this is gonna dissolve on November 19th. So I think to just make this message clearer, keep going until November 19th, because that is exactly when this Mars in Gemini is going to be opposite Neptune in Pisces. So this is when it's starting to get dissolved. The illusions are going to start to get dissolved, and that's when you're going to start seeing clearly.
Right.
So anything that you do prior to that, it's still in this trickery and deception energy.
And know that that could be still painful, all right? When those illusions start getting dissolved, November 19th, it can still be painful, but ultimately it's for your best. There you go. Aquarius, baby. Aquarius, we're going through the
5th.
Thank you. I'm almost like, what would I do without her? Like, how did I used to do these reports? 5th house Aquarius, all right?
The drama.
The drama. Thank you, J-Lo. All right, Aquarius, 5th house. Aquarius, you love to be here, even though it's your opposite in your shadow house, quite frankly. Because it's like, you don't always get the shine of Leo as much as you still want it, and you only really gain it through like your intelligence and being smarter than everybody else, but then you get caught up in the whole, superiority complex. This is a good house for you, all right? For you to be 7 months in your shadow house, your opposite sign of Leo, and it's starting off while we're in Leo season, Aquarius, I only see great things happening on this transit. I mean, it's a fellow brother sign. There's another wind sign. Mars and Gemini is wind. Aquarius, you naturally have the ability as a fixed energy to be very strategic, very methodical, to see things well in advance. You're a sign into the future, right? So if I look at this is now you taking action and dissolving barriers, cutting through old designs that have kept you from that little inner child. And this is why it's going to be so magical for you. You're now going to start to show up, especially through media, in a much more creative and playful way, a way where you get to kind of let down some of the responsibilities of Saturn. This is going to be very critical, very important, because, Capricorn, Aquarius season, that's January, February. These are seasons of a very serious time, a very serious energy for you. And you're going to be in the 5th house for a long time in Gemini, where you kind of get a chance to go ahead and play. And I just want to say, just know that you're going to get a chance to go ahead and structure and bring it all back together, especially around that January, February time. you know, the retrograde will eventually end. When does the retrograde end?
It ends on
January 12th.
12th, but the shadow is going to keep going until March 15th.
Yeah, so Aquarius, it's kind of like, you know, you're going to have a chance to play in all sincerity. You're going to have a chance to create. You're going to have a chance to just love, all right? You're going to have a chance to love, to date, to romance, take a lot more action, taking more local walks with your romantic partner, all right? Really just enjoy yourself, you know, have fun. I'm almost getting an image of like you're on a night train and like instead of being in the train, you're like outside the train and your partner's holding on and you're holding on and you're just loving it. Y'all loving to be in love. Y'all loving to experience new romances, which is like
Que romántico.
Que romantico, which is like not necessarily so easy for you all the time because you're like, you know, you could be a stiff hard ass sometimes. And it's like now you're going to actually start to embrace the fun, young energy of Gemini in the ways that it likes to take action and assert itself and to kind of step away from some more of your Capricornian duties. Even though now the retrograde ends, like I said, January 12th, this is right before your birthday season. So you will be in shadow during that time, all right, up until about March from January 12th. So you'll have a lot of time to reflect. But I just want to say, I'm honestly just getting like, just don't be afraid to let loose and be cool with it. To take away some of your more serious duties because those seasons are gonna come and it's okay. But right now, like embrace this Leo season, especially in the beginning while we're in Leo season and Mars is still here. This is a great time. Understand what you do now is what's going to be in retrograde, in reflection, in introspection later. So right now, just like don't be afraid up front for the first couple months, first 2 months before his retrograde to just do it up and know you got time to make it up.
Yeah, and even so, for fixed signs, it's going to be the most beneficial this retrograde. But for you specifically, Aquarius, I do have 2 cards. They just popped up. I checked with my energies and yeah, they both came in reverse, but I'm going to show them upright so you can see the cards. The cards one of them is Major Arcana, the Lovers, and the other one is Minor Arcana core card, King of Swords. They both came in reverse, so this is actually like a warning because, as Pernell says, this is a very beneficial time for you, but as long as you stay mindful that you cannot force anything. The Lovers card is about forcing in reverse. It's about forcing 2 energies to stick together when you know that it's not happening. You have all of the signs right there warning you not to do it. If you have a partner, a business partner, or even a friend who you don't feel comfortable with, but it's like, it's been too long, so I can't, don't fall for that. If you feel like it has to go, it has to go. Don't try to force anything. And for the King of Swords, this is a card that is about being super strategic, to have a lot of self-discipline. So this is warning me that you're not gonna be so disciplined in all of these areas of your life. So be mindful of that, stay disciplined, be this mediation judge, understanding that you can actually do these things. You can actually be the King of Swords, giving your wisdom, being the authority that everyone else needs in this season, because you're going to be seeing more clearly than most of the signs. So use this energy. Don't be tricked by it. Don't try to force anything, and embrace this King of Swords energy.
Aqua, there's like one more thing I want to say about that because it vibes, it works, it plays into that Lovers. It did come in reverse. When I think about Mars and Gemini, when it comes to trickster energy, a trick is a trick, right? Like a trick is a trick. So until Mars in Gemini begins to progress, especially as it hits retrograde 2 months from now, what's the trick? Is the trick that you have to be serious? Is the trick that you need to have fun? Or is it somehow a balance of that dark and that light and somewhere in the middle?
Because the Lovers energy, if it had come up right, oh, that was weird. Oh yeah, this is the Lovers. Yeah, that's the deception.
This is what I'm talking about.
It's literally the deception.
I'm telling you.
When the Lovers is upright, it's about being able to balance 2 energies. And this doesn't have to be literally 2 people. It could be, but sometimes it's just simple as balancing the mind with the emotions.
Or your friendship with your love.
Exactly. It's any two kind of energies coming together. That's the lover's upright position. But when it is in the other side, when it's reversed, is that you want to force it. Is that you're trying to make two energies that don't really F with each other, trying to actually come to something harmonious, because it's not gonna happen. But you're just forcing it. That's the deception, that you can actually make this be a harmonious thing when it's not being it's not a fate, it's not a destiny, this is not meant to be.
But when you pulled this card again, you thought it was going to show you the reverse.
No. The trick was that it was like this. So I didn't understand, like, where is the lover's card? But it wasn't.
It was like this.
No, it was.
I saw it upright when you pulled it a second time.
Oh, because I turned it around.
Right, but what I'm saying is already, no other card have we picked back up.
No.
No other card have we used our hands, Gemini, and picked it back up. But when we did, we showed you the back, and it showed us an upright lovers. And that's the only point I was trying to make, where I was just like, a trick is a trick because you're fooled.
Oh, this makes a lot of sense. The lovers is represented by Gemini in the
It
tarot.
is the Gemini card.
This is
I
the
do
Gemini
know that.
card.
I
It's
do know that.
literally the Gemini card. So this is what you need to be mindful of.
Kay,
Okay, hello, welcome.
what's going on?
It is going to be timestamped.
It will be.
JLo has been helping us with the hashtag of each sign, but we're also taking notes of where's the timestamp. So we're likely be posting a comment with all of this signs.
We are taking notes of timestamp. I will say this: I've tried this before, and the timestamps always show different because there's always a little lag. So
Oh, but
we're gonna have them in the comments regardless.
yeah, you're not gonna have to look through
You're
the
not
2
gonna have to
hours
look
in
through
order
it.
to find
No.
it. No, it's maybe gonna be like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
At the most.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
anything, you might have to come back 1 day or 2 days later. Because I'm telling you, I'm not timestamping this tonight. Like, it's not happening. So maybe 1 to 2 days later, the timestamps will be there either in the comments or in the description. So thank you, good question. I know it's time for the last one in Pisces. I just have to say it for when my Aquarius watch this. Be freaking careful, okay? Because like she said, the lovers doesn't have to be about love. You know, it could be the balance between the friendship, the love.
This is actually a very deceptive
This
card.
is a deceptive card.
Because people always think that the lovers means that it has to do something with a relationship, and it's not usually like that. It's just two opposing forces, whatever that is. It could be two opposing forces between a mother and a daughter. It could be two opposing forces between your own mind and feelings.
And there's always a challenge that comes with the lovers. Like, this is another part that I think people just don't ever really bring. It's like, it can be a great card, absolutely, but there's always a challenge. There's always a hurdle that's involved with the lovers. When I see this right now, I see one house that's lit up, and it's obvious that this is the one for sale, right? That does not mean that this one in the background that's dark and shadowed out is not for sale. It does not mean it's not the actual dream home that they want, right? And if I think Gemini is the lover's card, third house, they can take that simple little walk. It's right in arm's reach to just see and check it out. So again, I'm not implying anything, quite frankly, it's just way too early, all right?
Yeah, but just to be mindful of
Be
that.
mindful.
Do not try to force anything that does not want to be forced.
Exactly. And also don't be cynical with yourself, because Gemini, Sag, those two energies, conflicting energies, they are cynical energies.
Maybe that's why it also came with the King of Swords in reverse. Because you have to be understanding, you have to use your wisdom, use your self-discipline, because you already know this.
King of Wands.
You have, no, the Swords.
This is the King of Wands that came out with.
No, this is
Oh, this one came out King of Swords?
Yeah, this is
Okay, I'm shutting up. I'm just ready to put her in a noogie and be like...
No, but I'm sure of what I pulled. It was the King of Swords. And it's about using your wisdom. It's about using your authority. You already have all the tools. You already have all the wisdom that is necessary. So you'll know when to balance and when to force.
Boom.
Well, actually, not to force.
Let's hit the last one of the day. Pisces, here we go. That means you're in the fourth house.
Yep.
This one is a doozy, okay? Fourth house is the roots, it's the families, it's the home environment. We got a quick one.
It got so
Do you
easy.
want to hit it early?
I mean, I'm a Pisces, so this just makes sense to me. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is about controlling all of your material resources, about working, about being meticulous, about checking all of the small details, and to take acknowledge of all of your small accomplishments because they're all worth it. And sometimes Pisces is just like, this doesn't mean anything because it's not my final destination. So it just gives it for granted because also Pisces, let's be real, it's a very blessed sign. And this is why people know Pisces as a sign who's just, how do you say despistado?
Despistado.
Yeah.
J-Lo, despistado?
Yeah, like they just go through life expecting that all of the external forces are gonna help him or her to accomplish their goals. And it is true. I mean, we're blessed this way. Even when I first met Pernell, we were walking down the street and he's like, how has a car not run you over? Now I just walk through life like not understanding whatever it's happening around me. He's like, oh, did you see that? Of course I didn't see it. I'm in my own world. So it's very easy to get caught up on that. But this season is actually telling us to be wary of all of the details, of actually acknowledging everything that happens, as small as it may seem to us. It's all important in all of the steps that we're taking forward. And Pisces, it is a mutable sign, so this energy is going to be most intense in us. And it's easier to escape. That's they are distracted. Thank you, J-Lo.
Thank you, because I had no idea. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. That's why we seem distracted to the world because we're in our own inner world, and just disregarding everything else. So this is not a time to escape. This is not a time to go into our world. This is a time to be in the material world. The Eight of Pentacles is everything material. It's everything human, quite frankly. So you have to keep your feet on the ground for this season and just keep working with it. Check all of these small details and you will be fine.
I agree. You know, it is like keep your feet on the ground season, Pisces. This is the tarot understanding of it, and definitely apply it in conjunction with the fact that you're going through a fourth house transit. All right. So when I say feet on the ground, these are the roots. When I think feet on the ground, this is definitely to get rooted. Mars in Gemini can easily blow you away. All right. Like, first off, you know, you're more of an ethereal spirit. So me just going, Mars in Gemini taking action, the wind. All right. Gemini's wind. You can get blown away with all the details. You can get very distracted, especially from the things that are being required from you to take action on. So Mars in Gemini is actually to take action and to communicate a lot with family, to communicate a lot with the roots and your unconscious. All right, the literally your unconscious. So there are behaviors, because like I said, third house or Gemini is behaviors. So Mars in Gemini taking action on breaking down the boundaries and the behaviors that you've received in your family's dynamic, that you received from an ancestral rooted level. And I feel like this has kind of been coming up as well a lot, where it's like there may be certain material world things that you might have to almost shift and allow to dissolve and allow to change, because these are mutable energies. Mind you, Neptune in Pisces is your home planet. All right, it's your more modern ruler, is Neptune. There are a tremendous amount of illusions about what you might need to do and what you might actually be doing. So I feel like it's like you might be allowing yourself to get distracted and caught up in the material world with, if I think Neptune is like, it'd be a potential escapism through physical material world things. This could be anything. I mean, we know that Pisces is drugs. We do understand that. So with Mars and Gemini, it's like drugs would take away the logic for sure. Gemini is a very logical sign. So it would allow you to take away certain logic that already naturally exists inside of you. Or logic that exists inside the actions, the assertions, the way Gemini asserts itself. Because that square will happen, that T-square will happen, and things will be dissolved between Virgo and the real analytical data coming up. The opposition between Neptune and Pisces, your sign is going to hurt you. It's going to, I don't want to say it's going to hurt you, but it's definitely going to affect you.
Yeah.
Definitely going to make you pull up and be addressed. You're going to have to address the real physical world, which is Virgo. Virgo is the real physical world. Virgo has all the details in real life, on the ground, again. And now when you add Gemini there, it's like, you know, where do you allow yourself to almost be too curious? Where does being too floaty, too magical, it's just gonna come to me, where does it actually hurt you back in the real world? Potentially the same real world things that might be involved in your means of escapism, which again does not have to be drugs. It could literally be just isolating yourself too much in some fashion, some capacity.
Yeah, living in your fantasy world, literally. It could be as easy as getting lost in a book, in a Netflix series. It could be anything like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be drugs. Yeah, it just can mean
any form of escapism.
Yeah, even with your partner, like not getting to know anything else from the actual outside or real world, just because you're with your partner in the lair all of the day. Escapism could look in a lot of ways. For me, in one season, it was just dreaming a lot, just being asleep most of the day. I only woke up to eat and I then went to sleep again. But why was that? Because I didn't want to face reality. So this is one of the natural things for Pisces. It's an instinct. This is a natural instinct for Pisces. Just if you don't want to deal with it, just escape.
I think this is one of those things where we come back to where we started, and the original tag was information war. Okay? Information wars. So, Pisces, like, how hard is it for you to get caught up on Instagram?
Yeah, it lost on TikTok, watching all the reels, like, it's made for that.
Like, literally, they understand you're a Pisces at this point, right? The algorithms can very clearly recognize, oh, this is a Pisces watching. We can tell because she likes every Pisces Instagram post on moon omens. Every time Pisces post is there, she's timing or he's commenting. And it's like, this is the distraction. That word J-Lo has said, whatever it was in Spanish, forgive me.
Distraído, distracted.
Distraído. Oh, you said distraído. That's distracted. I didn't hear you say that so clear the first time. It sounded like something totally different. I swear I didn't even, okay, whatever. But this looks like information warfare, right? It's like, this is the reality. It's like you're going to be fed something that will basically really tamper with your intuition and also tamper with what are the real facts on Earth, what are the real tangible facts. And I feel like really, again, this is still fourth house when it comes down to it. It's like, it's what you're doing in private. And I feel like this is a lot of how fourth house is playing with you. What is going on in private? Fourth house is the private house. What are you doing in private? And again, Mars and Gemini, you're doing a lot of media in private. When you're off on your own and no one knows what you're doing and you have your own ways and your own privacy of your home to dick off. But ultimately, I feel like what you're really dicking off on is what ancestral and even familiar things are being avoided, because Gemini is in a very avoidant type energy. Gemini, and it's when you add 3 mutables, okay, this is why, like, I feel like I can't end it so simply with Pisces, because Pisces, Virgo, and Gemini are mutable energies. And during this retrograde in Gemini, you will go opposite of Sagittarius, more near closer to November. Sag season, Venus will be in Sag as well. That's the 4th mutable energy.
Yeah, also
hitting.
sign, yeah.
So when you add all of that, with the amount of information wars, and Sagittarius is a naturally distracted energy, Gemini is a naturally distracted energy, Virgo might be the only one out of that that's not a naturally distracted energy. So I feel like that's what's really important to just mention, because the question is, what are you trying to escape from? That's the real question for you to answer when this Mars Gemini energy is hitting you.
And it's most likely just getting rid of these old thoughts, these old patterns that you have from your family, these old roots, because mutable signs are all about transition. So you're coming from your home beliefs to your own beliefs.
Boom. So, Eileen, you want to pull one final card to give them a wrap-up message as for this Gemini entering Mars transit, social havoc. Tarot's being pulled for all rising signs. We got 2 drops at the bottom. Cheat on words wonder. I love cheat on. Cheat on.
Yeah, me too. I don't know how to pronounce it ever, but I do love it. So for the wrap-up message, I do have two cards. The first one is the Five of Wands, which is usually about conflict, and it is one, so it's fire energy. So it's literally about getting in conflicts with people, and this is all about this energy. You're actually gonna be having a lot of argument. You're getting a lot of conflict.
Fact.
This is something that you just have to.
Social havoc.
Yeah, you have to just make peace with it because it is going to happen. It is here, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And I'm feeling that this is the Knight of Chalices. This is how to go through this, and this in an upright position, it already came up for someone, I think. So this is the Knight of Chalices, and it's about being sensitive, about listening to your intuition, and being a classic romantic when it is in an upright position, but it came reversed. So this means that you're disregarding all of these things about yourself. You're likely not wanting to show this more vulnerable side of you. So this is how you're gonna navigate through this.
What is the date on the Five of Wands circle, she said?
What is the date? I don't know. What do you mean the date? Oh, there's a calendar here. Yeah, June 21st. That's a circle one.
That's the summer equinox, no?
June 21st, it's right here.
June 21st is the summer equinox. Exactly, that's Cancer season. That's the summer equinox. I'm just saying it out loud, like, I mean, whatever that means for somebody else, it means, but...
Yeah. So there's gonna be conflict. That's something that's gonna happen. It's not debatable. It's gonna be here. And the King of Challenges is about not showing your most vulnerable side, but you actually just have to acknowledge it for yourself. You have to understand your emotions in order to navigate this. You have to be sure of what your beliefs are, what your emotions are, so you're not gonna be tricked by anybody else from the outside. And when these arguments do come, you can act calmly and in a collected manner.
Yeah. From the animal side, just the last card that really coincides exactly what she said is the Golden Egg. One of my favorite cards of the deck. I mean, this is the heart chakra card. It has some Leo type energy in it, but ultimately it says that this is a very advanced technique to play and work with. This is why I want to recommend that you definitely join the New Moon Yoga that we're doing next Saturday. It's a free event to join. Check our email list as well. Eileen will drop the New Moon video for Virgo New Moon when it's going to happen on the 27th of this month. This basically says to listen to the message at the center of your heart. The golden egg is the unstruck sound. Now, the reason why it's an advanced energy to work with is because it's the sound that cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the everyday life. All right, because everything will be busy, everything will be noisy, especially from an information level, a media level, Instagram, new algorithms, new ways to distract you, new ways to suck up your energy. They're going to be implemented, all right? New trickster type energy around, giving you false information, media showing you things that are just absolutely false or showing you things to distract you. This will happen. So when you get this golden egg card, Mars and Gemini energy, the wrap-up message is that the magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. It says no rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra, all right, which is why we're about to drop that one more time. It's a free event, or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. I told you that the second half of the year is when all the last 6 zodiac signs from Libra to Pisces go into the dark. Introspective, reflective time, all right? Make sure you get a daily practice in this Virgo season that you can abide by. Take some time, all right? When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, Gemini is the breath. Gemini is the lungs of the zodiac, all right? When the breath begins to settle and it is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. So I want somebody to type that in the chat. What question weighs heaviest on your heart? Type that out and then ask yourself that in your private time, especially after meditation. What weighs heaviest on your heart? All right. And then to kind of hit the last couple parts of this message, it says, staying open to any response. That is literally Mars and Gemini. Any response, being curious that you hear. All right? Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence. That's the light and the dark of Gemini energy. And comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell up. Eileen's getting ready to drop the timestamps. By the way, heads up. Your chest may swell up. You are seeing like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. I want to show you the brief picture here for this golden egg. How did I do that?
Trickery, and it's still
Trickery, and it's still, look, I can't even lie to you, this trickster energy is
like
wild.
three tries and it still didn't work. But this is
One,
why
two,
you don't
three,
give
Gemini.
up. Yeah, this is why you don't give
That's why you
up.
don't give up. You see
Yeah.
I kept flipping that card, baby?
Yeah, it would be so easy to just be like, oh, it didn't go.
Oh, whatever.
But no, when you see the golden egg,
The essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the 4th chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self, or the soul. Bringing the mind, Gemini, into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits deep there, in meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translates to the unstruck sound. This is your Mars and Gemini message. Do you want to copy and paste that timestamp? We can do it again afterwards anyways, but do you want to just paste it in the chat if it fits?
yeah, I don't know if it will fit because of the 200
I don't think
character
it'll fit
thing.
either, but
Let's try it. And
maybe it will.
even so, I'm gonna post it as a separate comment.
It fit. Voila.
Well, it didn't make anything. I'm still
It
gonna
doesn't
post it
do
as a
any
comment.
link, so we're gonna put
Yeah.
that in the comments so we can actually do it as a link. And from here, sayonara, baby. We're gonna say love. I'm gonna send you some amazing energy. Knowing everything we heard today, I'm gonna make sure that I run some more meditation type events, some more yoga type events, all while Mars and Gemini, so we can actually move and get the mind to calm. Love, love, love. Thank you for your thumbs up. I appreciate you. Definitely check out Eileen's channel. And we'll drop that. Can you drop that in there real quick? You have it?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Definitely check out her channel. Her channel is growing. She's doing more and more. She's specializing more in witchcraft as well as moon cycles when it comes to waning moons, waxing gibbets, the whole nine, and when to best do certain witchcraft, brujeria rituals, as well as tarot, of course, which is more of her specialty. You saw her pull today. If you resonated with her energy, if you resonated with what she had to share, check her link. She just dropped it there. All right, definitely hit the subscribe on her channel. Definitely hit the thumbs up on this channel. And finally, I want to see you next Saturday at the new moon. Yoga Nidra was the recommendation of that golden egg energy.